Futures back to the upside here this morning as we head into the heart of earnings season coming up over the next couple of weeks here. Big tech names to come this week, including Netflix, Tesla, not necessarily tech, but sure, why not? And Intel in the semiconductor group coming up as well. That's how the market's looking right now. A little bit of a gap to the upside after a nice climb higher to head into the weekend back on Friday. It's worth noting yields started the day to the upside. We're coming off a little bit right now, back to negative on the session overall. So adding a little bit of positivity as far as the overall market is concerned. Apple positive today. Individual names moving around. Apple, the biggest one possibly. A number of analyst moves, including a number of analysts talking about iPhone 17 sales ahead of expectations so far for this quarter. We'll talk about that. A number of individual stocks to deal with today, including Tesla back on watch here ahead of earnings coming up this week.
It's going to be a big one, Brendo. Tesla, make sure to catch that with us on the Market Recap Show. Definitely going to have coverage for that for you. But yeah, as you were saying, Apple in focus today. I was reading a story, on Friday, that the iPhone Air was sold out in China. And we were concerned that, that maybe not moving the needle. It looks like not just that model, but other models doing well as well. Amazon overnight with a bit of an outage, looking flat right now. Good recovery, but Bitcoin back in focus. IBIT up 4.25% over here, Brendo, and Cleveland Cliffs up nicely 10%. And Boeing finally may have the cap removed on it by the FAA. They'll be able to make 42 of these things instead of 38 now, Brendo. So
I mean, take what you can get, I guess, at this point. Here is Tesla right now, not really doing a heck of a lot. Nice gap to the upside with the overall market, but kind of just chopping around here, going sideways. Yeah, the Boeing note, positive one. We'll see. There's not much. I checked it early on. There's not much of reaction after the initial spike here, just kind of hanging out at 215. But finally, some positive headlines. It seems like this stock just continues to get negative headline after negative headline.
Can you believe it's been almost 2 years? In January, it'll be 2 years since that door plug incident with the dishwashing liquid or whatever they call it. I can't believe it. Weight Watchers as well, Brandon. Got a tie-up with Amazon, looking nice here in the pre-market, almost 9%.
Yeah, let's get into tech earnings, guys. Happy Monday.
Yeah, it's a happy Monday because it's Game 7 Monday up in here. We're going to handle business tonight. We'll handle business today. We got Bitcoin bouncing nicely. Crypto's making a nice move. Back to 110 on BTC. Apple.
111.
Oh, my bad. My bad. 111. It's a strong morning. Apple's up 2 points today. Tesla's strong, as you guys mentioned, that 440 level from Friday. Yeah, 440 was a short on Friday, but today, maybe it's going to turn into long support for sure. We get Tesla later on in the week. Yeah. Tonight after the bell with ZION Bank. So yeah, regional bank could be interesting, but all systems go. Looking at pretty strong everywhere. Gold is strong. Almost everything you looked at that sort of ended the week is looking much, much better. Heck, even Beyond Meat's up today. That tells you all you need to know about the bullishness. And there's no news there, just maybe a potential squeeze is Beyond Meat.
Yeah, 57%. That one has like 70% short float
Ridiculous
or something like that. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, glad to be back. It's now Monday. I think we're all scheduled. Actually, no, I have Thursday off. My daughter's in cross country, so that should be fun. Intel, yeah, Bitcoin back to 11. Bitcoin got as low as 103 or 104 or something on the weekend. I just bought 108 on Thursdays. I didn't do anything else other than that. But yeah, good victory for the Jays. It looked pretty easy there yesterday. All the games seem easy so far, but
it didn't feel easy.
We'll have to wait to see that one. Yeah, what was it 8-2 or what was the final score there last night?
Oh, we only got 6.
6-2, okay, or something like that. Yeah, good run. And then today we have Bieber on the hill against that Kirby guy. The guy that looks like Sharif, apparently, right? Was that the guy?
He doesn't look like Sharif. I don't know.
I don't know. Someone in the chat said last time.
Someone said it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, so. All right. Yeah, we have Michael Noss coming through today as well. That should be exciting. Yeah, lots of good things happening. The market's back up again, so all that fear of everything. I mean, here's the Nasdaq trying to go a little bit higher. The Qs did have a little bit of a dip by opportunity over last week, and I think you could still get another one here today with Amazon. Amazon's like one of the only names that are at the 200 or below the 200 period moving average as far as, Mag 7 or big stocks. As you can see, the Nasdaq all the way up here, Amazon all the way down here as far as the 200 period moving average is concerned. But there we go, man. The market just took a little bit of a breather last week. You could have an opportunity to buy a couple days down there around 590, but right back up to the upside. And then Amazon, of course, has those outages here today. So you know, affecting many different sites, but doesn't seem to be affecting the stock too much. Still up with the market, but there's Amazon right here, the weakest of the bunch, right here below now, finally below that 200 period moving average. So this name has done nothing for 1 year. Well, it's done something, but it's all the way back to where it was a year ago. We'll see if we can pick up some Amazon today in the long-term account. Let me just see what happens here with a little bit of a dip, if there's anything on this outage. So that's what I'm looking for. Pick up some Amazon in the long term. You know, our target's doing so far so good. I don't know, we're waiting for that one to break out a little bit. This is a recent buy of ours. We bought some crypto. You guys know what we did. We sold some SMR. SMR is back upside today. We sold some AMD. That's doing okay. Nvidia holding off at that 180, I think, is a good level too. So, yeah, it's a really nice bump up for Bitcoin in the crypto space. So right now, 11.1. I think we got as low as 103 or 104 there on Bitcoin on the weekend. Yeah, there it is right there, bouncing. So again, right off the 200 period moving average again for Bitcoin. So 104, there's a little, I mean, that's 104. You had to be sitting there, I guess. 106, 105, 108, those are all key levels. So we'll see if we can hold back upside now for BTC, Ethereum also. They're all kind of moving around here, so should be good. Yeah, we'll figure out what Nas wants to do. Gold also still ripping higher, so there's that. As we continue to get upside there. $400 now on GLD. Look at this, up another 2% today. Again, one dip down opportunity for gold.
Yesterday, gold and, Friday, gold and silver both took a hard right turn back into the downside. Bit of a news here, story here, and moving upside is CleanSpark. Now up 11%. It was already up, but up 11%. Now it's the business evolution from pure play Bitcoin miner to include it's AI compute, and they've hired an industry veteran, Jeffrey Thomas, as SVP of AI data centers. So CleanSpark doing some volume, 10%. So pretty much everything looking pretty strong. It's not the first name, the Bitcoin miner looking to diversify into something else, and makes a heck of a lot of sense. But 10% here. Pretty much anything in the crypto space is looking pretty strong, but you might have a little bit of a catalyst here with CLSK. Let's head on back up to the desk. Lots to discuss.
Yeah, nice move for CLSK. You have the
right
headline
there
over there if you want to take an actual look at what's going on there for CleanSpark. I mean, we'll see if there's any follow through here. It looks like light volume to start.
They've been good. CleanSpark's been good. Brendo Hut 8 as well has been a good miner, almost at 2021 highs. And this is, you and I were just talking about off camera, they've already got the rigs, they've already got the warehouses, and they know how to deal with these GPUs, so kind of a natural extension of their business model. They're looking at getting into AI data centers. They deal, obviously, right now in Bitcoin mining operations, so not a bad look for CLSK.
Yeah, we spent a number of months going through MSTR every Monday. We would come in and say, you know, MicroStrategy or strategy bought X amount of Bitcoin in the past couple of weeks. Now it's this one, BMNR, with a gap to the upside this morning. BitMine buying 203,826 ETH over the last week, and now own 3.2 million total ETH. So decent volume here so far for BMNR as well.
It is, and Joseph pointed out this ascending wedge to me here on the daily. I happen to like this chart pattern. What I don't like is the prior price action. So typically when you're looking for ascending wedges, you're looking for a continuation. So you like to see a higher high, higher low pattern. We didn't get that here because we had such an aggressive move in late June when we topped out there in mid-July and then dropped all the way back down. But it seems to be finding support at the 50 exponential moving average on the daily. I like this, Brendo. I'm looking for a breakout above 70 eventually.
Yeah, we'll see if any of the other crypto-related stocks start to come into play maybe this morning, guys. BMNR, another one up here nicely.
Yeah, those are going to be that's where a lot of the juice ends up, right? Like things like BMNR, where you're going to get a little bit more juice for the squeeze or whatever, bang for your buck, whatever analogy you want to throw out there. But what I like about some of them, not all of them, and I actually might prefer MARA, believe it or not, is essentially, like you look at the stock, this is just like almost like an entire day's worth of liquidity grab. When you see it, like it held a range, a day's worth of liquidity grab right back above. And that's why I want to look bullish today. Now, the reason I would prefer necessarily MARA is like it did a similar thing, but like look at the size of the gap. if we hold strength on crypto, on Bitcoin in particular, then I look at something like this. It's got like $20 was the high, and then on Thursday was the low, and as long as you're above 20, no place to go but to the upside. So like that and IBIT are the two things I like the most. IBIT just really, really strong here. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, percentage points don't necessarily matter in this particular case because it's a 24-hour market. But when you're up 4 points and you look at where we were on Friday and then Thursday even, like that prior support for like 2.5 days, 62.5 on IBIT with support. We're back above that. So I would just go dip and rip off 62.5. I like that, and I like MARA at that $20 level as well. As long as it can hold both of those, I think you've got some relief rally this week. So I think wherever you're looking in crypto, I think you're looking okay.
I think we could put up a chat here. Did anybody buy the dip in crypto? Because you got to believe in it. I don't know if it's going to actually be, what's up, Joe? I guess Joe did. I know, we were talking about buying some dips there, but at the end of the day, I only bought more Bitcoin. I didn't buy anything else. And if you're going to look at the other markets, they did have a nice little move to the downside as well. Including everything. So Ethereum's trying to hold 4,000 right now. If you go to the downside, there's Ripple at 245. So XRP not doing great down there at 245. Solana still south of $200 as well. Doge 20, Cardano 67. So there's a lot of opportunity here in any of these names. So yeah, it should be good to go. Like Ripple's down near at a pretty good level as well right here. So here we go, just right into here, $2. So we have to wait to see if we can bounce in and around here. Randy, this is crypto. I don't know if you own any crypto or not. No? Sorry about that. Yeah, we like crypto. And Tesla reports on Wednesday, so that should be exciting. We'll see what happens. They're up today.
Should be interesting.
You like that? I think they're going to report a pretty good number.
I think so too. So,
as expected, man.
It's over tonight.
I bet on the Blue Jays when they were down 0-2, man.
It's over tonight.
Game 7.
Gotta have faith, bro.
Gotta have faith in Vladdy, baby.
You know
get this done.
Guy just keeps on going. No haters allowed.
Vladdy is the man. Vladdy was shitting the bed, and now he's the man.
He wasn't shitting.
I mean, this is the best thing about sports, man. This is the best thing about sports, is you never know what's going to happen, and I hope that today, he says he's born for it, so let's see if he is born for it. I know he's born to cash $500 million checks.
Yeah, he'll cash the checks. He's earned every single dollar of it. What I love about it is everybody's contributing right now.
Yeah,
literally everybody.
You have to.
The defense was ridiculous.
Brandon Little's contributing.
Well, let's not get into that. What I genuinely, the thing about it is, the best thing about them winning tonight is no one will, for him. Yeah. Because I look at it this way. That kid should never have been on the mound for that anyways. That wasn't hit. He got put in the game when he wasn't pitching well, and then...
Is he a kid? How old is that guy?
25.
Oh, he's 25?
25, maybe 20, maybe 26.
Feels like he's a lot older
played
than
like
that.
two or 3 years in the biz. He hasn't been around for that long. But
I mean, Jays versus Dodgers is going to be...
Look, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. You got to get there first. The Dodgers bought themselves a ridiculous team, so that's what happens. It is what it is. I don't feel like anything positive or negative toward the Dodgers. They're ridiculous. They're unreal.
Yeah, awesome to see them. That's
it'd be fun to watch them, but we got to get there first. Just got to handle business tonight.
I think we should be able to. We're definitely we're the big favorite tonight again. So hopefully we'll be able to win that one.
Bieber versus Herbie?
We'll cash a 5-1 bet. So we'll take it. Hopefully they can win. We got a lot riding on it today. It should be a good one. All right, it's 8:43. I guess we got Michael Noss coming through. Let's go find out what that guy's up to.
Real quick, Archer Aviation popping up here. ACHR, new deal with Korean Air to commercialize the Midnight eVTOL, ordering 100 of these crazy looking things.
Wow.
We've had this conversation on the show in the past. There's skepticism as to whether you would or whether you wouldn't get into one of these. I mean, I think that is at least getting to a point where I might actually get into that. It looks relatively
good. It looks fantastic, Brendo. I'm not just I'm very, very excited to actually be on one of these things in real life. No, the reason I like these, they solve so many different issues, right? They have military application, and that's what I was talking about on the midday. I'd like to see the military kind of take this over. They don't really need a profitable business model in order to order these, obviously, whereas companies do. So I'd like to see the military pick these up and see how private industry does. I'm involved in Joby myself. I didn't weasel into Archer. Probably shouldn't be betting on winners this early on because there's just so much unknown.
Yeah,
right? So,
and it seems like each company is kind of going in a different direction. This seems to be a little bit more commercialized. Joby's more, Uber-esque individual, or like, smaller groups at least traveling. Anyways, let's bring in Michael Noss here for a look at a few sectors to start things off here on a Monday. Happy Monday, Mr. Noss. Good to see you as always.
Happy Monday.
Lots to talk about here heading into the heart of tech earnings over the next couple of weeks here. We'll maybe touch on that coming up in another segment. But you want to talk about healthcare here, not necessarily the craziest, sexiest, if you will, sector to talk about, but quietly still performing very well.
Yeah, and I want to talk about this because, I just got back from an event and there was really only two topics. It was a, real life investing event. One is, are we in an AI bubble? And two, what can I buy, right? So a lot of looking at where AI could potentially benefit going into next year. That was a big conversation. A lot of people talked about kind of two sectors, energy and healthcare. But the reason I want to talk about healthcare is kind of this first slide right here. So I wanted just to show, this is a pie chart of the S&P 500 weighted by sector. So the larger the piece of the pie, the more the weight of the S&P 500, the more it will affect the movement of the S&P 500. And you can see, right, technology being 22%. That's why we talk about it all the time. It's a really big deal. But next step down is healthcare with 14%, and then financials with 13%. This next chart I have says healthcare is 10%. I just wanted to bring in two. I don't know why they're different, but let's say between 10 and 15%, which makes it either the third largest or the second largest sector in all of the S&P 500. So the next chart I have here is just showing all of the different sectors. Comes in a little light there, I see, but all of the different sectors and their year-to-date performance. And of course, it doesn't surprise anyone that technology is leading year-to-date up, 24 or so percent. We have XLF, which is the other large sector. That's doing well, about 10% or so. And then we have XLV lagging. So the question always is, and we talk about this all the time, is that in bull markets, people sell winners and then they use those winnings to diversify and to buy other stocks that they think potentially have a chance to catch up or break out. That's why you see quite a bit in this market is something moves and then you wait a couple weeks and then there's another breakout and that works. And it's why breakouts work in bull markets. People are constantly cycling that down. So some evidence, coming that, hey, maybe this is next. Maybe healthcare is where people are going to go. So I just brought up XLV here on the next chart, which is just the ETF on a weekly chart. And what's interesting is pretty clean downtrend line, which is, the straight line there, the purple straight line, but then also the purple kind of curvy line, that's the anchored VWAP from that prior high. And just showing that about 2 weeks ago or so, we actually got through it. And then we've been holding ever since, just basing. So, crazy moves in the overall S&P 500 with, the great cooking oil crash of 2025 and all of these things, but healthcare has been holding strong. So some more evidence there that things could potentially be perking up here. So just zoomed in, this next chart is just zoomed into that last chart. We're looking at a daily chart here, and you can see just a nice bull flag, less crazy than the overall market has been over the last kind of week or two. And, it's got this nice little flag pattern that's looking interesting. So above kind of 124 or so, that could be a nice way to play it if you just want to play in the ETF, if you don't want to try to pick winners. But two ideas I have here. The first one, this Johnson Johnson, I'll probably be looking for some sort of pullback on Johnson Johnson, see if I can get closer to that 185, 190 level. But I just wanted to highlight just what a mess this has been. This chart goes all the way back to 2022, and up until a couple weeks ago, it was just a mess. It was stuck inside the range. There was nothing really too interesting happening, and then we just recently had this breakout, and you can see this nice trend that's existed in 2025. So if we can get some sort of pullback to maybe retest those prior highs, that one's interesting. And then this next one popped up in my scans as well when I was going through healthcare OSCR. I guess this has a bit of a cult following. It's kind of the first that I've been hearing about it is over the last few weeks, but a really clean looking chart here with a lot of resistance up there at 24. So if this thing can ever get through that 24, it's you know, a pretty straight shot looking at the chart all the way up to like 35 or so. And the reason this one really stuck out is it's got a 22% short float. So a lot of resistance in this area, kind of looking like a little bit of that Johnson Johnson chart where it was a big mess until you got that breakout and a nice continuation there. So need to see this one. I think it's as of this morning trading around 20. I need to see it up and through that $24. You can see the resistance that's happened there a couple times. That might be the way that I'm playing it, but just knowing that this is a new issue, just kind of want to warn everyone this one looks extra volatile for the healthcare space.
Some earnings ease at the bottom of those charts as well coming up. I mean, we focus so much on tech when we get into earnings season, rightfully so, as you showed with that sector chart or graph of each sector there. But when it comes to earnings and the effect of such on this group, I mean, is it something that you're worrying about going into the actual earnings season at this point, or just looking at overall strength?
I generally won't hold anything or buy anything if there's just a couple days to earnings, but you know, we're talking healthcare, not biotech. I think that's a good differentiation to have there, where you know, biotech companies are exceedingly volatile because they're coming out with a new drug and it's either going to pass FDA and the thing's going to shoot up 1,000%, or they're going to fail and it's going to drop 90%. So there's a lot of action there that can happen in the biotech space. In healthcare, I'm a little less concerned about it because, as we saw with UNH and other healthcare companies, their incomes are fairly stable until something kind of dramatic happens, like a DOJ investigation or something. So again, anything can happen from earnings. You definitely have to protect yourself by either trading super small or waiting for after the earnings. But with something like a healthcare that gets a premium paid to it, I'm a little less concerned in, you know, getting a huge jump or a huge drop overnight than maybe some other stocks.
We'll see how it plays out over the next coming weeks here as we get into the heart of it, as we said. Great stuff. Michael Noss back with us after the close tonight. We'll see you then.
I'll talk to you then.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, another way you can play that, you can overlook at XLV if you're thinking about like a sector type play. But what's interesting, we've talked about this before. I mean, XLV is not going to be all that sexy, but you know, when you start thinking about like what is the next move, like what's the next play to happen, when people talk about stocks that are going sideways or doing nothing, like the longer that it does essentially nothing or get stuck in a range, the more interesting it becomes when it breaks out of it. Like that's where J&J is at right now. Like for so long, the stock was just going absolutely nothing. And now all of a sudden, it's got a little bit of juice to it. So I think I actually like that call by J&J. I think I used to own this like way back in the day before they had all of their issues. But ultimately, sometimes you do get this like rotation from one place to the, not one place to the other, but some participation in a move, and I think that's what you're seeing with healthcare. J&J, probably not a day trading stock, so like Michael said, you're looking for some swing trade ideas. That's one that finally is not as boring as it used to be.
I think, yeah, finally, and I'm glad Oscar getting some talk here at least now, so that's good, man. I mean, Oscar's a name that we're long down into here. And if it comes back in, I'll buy some more. But yeah, like Michael said, we did sell some last time it came up into this 23, 24 area. Would love to see that breakout. So I think that's a great call. We're really happy, you know, with this play. Also, Big Bear AI is another one that looks something similar where you keep dipping down and getting the highs and then fading back out. So that's, you know, none of this stuff is a surprise when that goes down. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening with Oscar Health here. Still looking to put some profit on the board for Oscar OSCR, I believe. I'm not sure what their PE is, if they even have one at this point. Yeah, see, so we're still waiting for them to throw out some profit there. So once they do, that'll be good. What's their calendar looking like here for Oscar? So we've got right now 02. No, that's not right. Confirm there, November the 6th. So we still got about a month, well, about 3 weeks or so until Oscar Health earnings. So we'll wait for that right there. But yeah, EPS negative. So we'll wait to see. They actually had gap EPS positive there the last couple quarters. So there it is right there. EPS negative 89 cents. We'll see what they can come up with coming through. Looks like they're still looking for minus 56 cents. So I like Oscar. And again, as Michael had mentioned here, we do have for them a decent short float. So 21%, which is part of the reason why I'm involved in that name. So, all right, let's go over to the first time today and see what Joe is talking about with the upgrades and downgrades.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Let's get this show started. All right, so on the upgrade side, we have J&J. Yes, speaking of, we're getting that price target raised to $203, slightly positive on the session. And then Planet Labs by Needham getting that price target raised to $16. Now, United Airlines, TD Cowen giving it the nod to $138. That's a pickup there, guys. Tempest AI positive on the session, 3.9%. Canaccord Genuity giving it that nod, price target to $110. Now, as for NVTS, yes, this name was in play last week, no questioning that. Slightly positive on the session, getting that downgrade by Rosenblatt there, guys, from a buy to neutral. Now, Garrett advancing motions by Deutsche Bank, price target lowered to $14, in United Therapeutics by Wells Fargo, getting that price target lowered to $414. And then Chipotle Mexican Grill, yes, Key Corp, also lowering that target to $52, slightly positive on the session there, guys. Now, as for some of last week's options activity, this is going to be for this week's expiration cycle. So we have Intel putting in some volume at that $38 strike price. Yes, $38 with 17,400 contracts traded at that specific level. Now, the open interest sitting around just under 9,000 there. And once again, that is going to be this week's expiration. Now, HIMS putting in some substantial R-vol here, guys. Open interest around 23,300 at that $56 strike price, and the volume on that specific level, 15,400 contracts open and closed on Friday's session. Now look for those to roll over to this week again, guys, and you might see some growth within that open interest. Now, BitMine Immersion, yes, Sharif, starting to dabble in this one. Open interest, 5,800, and then the volume at that 55 strike price around 21,400. Now, as for the call of the day, AMD, this is going to be November expiration cycle, and you are going to be catching a lofty, if you are planning on writing these spreads, $12.40. So that's going to be $1,200 right there that you have the ability to collect. Now, the ask spread not too bad, only $15 there, guys. The ask sitting around $12.55. Now with the delta, you can see we're just under a 0.5-to-1 ratio right there, 0.43, and then the gamma relatively cool. And that's the positive thing about buying further dated expirations, is that you don't have that extreme and that immense amount of gamma exposure. That is significantly light, but you can see that the at the money IV is slightly increased there too, guys. 65.2% for the call of the day. The 250 strike price expiring November 21st this year, guys.
Into a look at the overall market here. A ton to know, as we said, coming into big name earnings coming up this week and going into next. We'll start with a look at the market here.
6702, guys. That's where we close out Friday on the ES December contract. So we reclaimed that 6,700 point area, but I see a bit of a range starting to form here on both the ES and the NQ. We'll look at the the ES side of things. It looks like we're using 6,600 here as a very clear level of support. We drop back there on the 14th, again on the 17th, both of which we defended. But we're looking at 6,750 for whatever reason as that very clear level of resistance. Again, we used that as resistance on the 15th, got back into it again on the 16th. We didn't quite make it up there on Friday, but we're looking like we're almost there, Brenda, with the overnight high, 67.37. So that first level of resistance, 67.50.
As always, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you give yourself a couple of seconds here. Jump down to the description of this video, grab the free watch list. Top link in the description will get you there. All you need is your email address, as everything you need to know every single morning in the pre-market comes right to your inbox. Let's go. Apple, top of the list here this morning, rightfully so. Barely a red candle here on a 15-minute chart. There's a couple of dojis, but that's about it. I mean, there's a number of analyst notes here, including one from Loop Capital, another one from Evercore ISI, who added it to their quote-unquote tactical buy list. I like it.
I like it too, Brendo. And anecdotally, of course, I was telling you off camera, I was with the parents on both Friday afternoon after work, of course, and Saturday morning at the Apple store at one of the local malls here, and it was rammed both days. It was hard to even get somebody to help us out, so I like that as an Apple shareholder. But let's talk about why we're moving up. They're saying it's the fastest smartphone growth since the pandemic for the company. The supply chain data shows stronger than expected sales momentum, with analysts highlighting robust carrier and retail demand heading into the holiday season. Analysts are projecting iPhone revenue to rise 4% this fiscal year and then 5% in 2026. So looking at about $210 billion in just total iPhone revenue for 2025. Bank of America, as you noted, Brendo, many different analyst agencies chiming in. They noted that shipping times are 13% higher year over year, signaling sustained demand across major markets. Apple will report earnings on the 30th.
And this is even before we get any kind of glasses product. Remember, that was a whisper at one point. They were going to cut off some of the production for the headset and focus more on glasses. So here we go, guys. Thoughts to start things off here on Apple?
Well, when half your revenue is going to be the phone, you want there to be strong early sales. So that's, I mean, there's no way, it's just a positive. And if you remember, before we had like the most recent like China scare and then this whole regional bank scare, like Apple was the stock, or was the Mag 7 name, I should say, that was going to break its high. Right? Like it was pretty much primed to do so. So all it did, pulled right back in, made a nice little bull flag, and now we get to try to run at it this week. So that's 259, which there's room to. I mean, like the high's actually higher than that, so call it like 260. I think you have room to the 59.60 area today. Just very simply looked at the two most prominent points, 55 and 53-ish. Like both of them were key support levels that got broken last week, and now they're back above. So I'm dip buying those two levels, 55, 53 for Apple, with room to the high. I don't know, but maybe you get a high break today, maybe you get it tomorrow. This week, I think Apple takes out that high. Just want to be long into it off of those two levels.
Okay, so for me, Apple is going to be your trade of the day. You know, I really like it. It's going to be the #1 trade here on this. Like, you know what I just put out right now. You know, we'll be reviewing this probably all day, but yeah, long 252. I don't think that's going to come through. We may have to get it. Oh, I didn't. It's in the note, but I didn't write it down there. We might have to start buying some 252, 254s because it's off here in the pre-market, so it's up already that 2%. Like we had said, man, every time this name baselines like this, I want to buy more, and so we did. So our last buy is down in and around here. So it's the fact that it's starting to take out new all-time highs here. I think that's just a matter of time. You know, I wrote down that we want to be long pretty much everything this week ahead of all this big tech earnings, and the biggest name is right here, right? And so you're not going to get Nvidia this week, obviously. I'm really excited for Apple. It looks like the best name right now to break out. So 260 breakout probably happens, and I think you got to take it on that break. So I don't know. Friday, I mean, the trajectory of this stock was just up, right? So there it is right there. It's an absolutely beautiful trend. I really like Apple. I think we can buy any dips here. So I'm ready to buy it all. Like 255 would be great. That's where VWAP is. I said 254, but you know, at the time, that's where VWAP and all that was. So now we're starting to get a little bit higher, and we just got a nice little bump right there for Apple. So Apple, #1 stock here today. On my radar. So I'll be long this, just a matter of when and where. So Apple long for sure today. It might be that 256 area, but I'll look to see if we can get a dip early. You're up 2% here into a ripping market, so we may not get that chance. You may have to just buy 260 break. So Apple, excited for it, but definitely here to make a 260 breakout on AAPL.
Bounce well underway. There we go. The bounce well underway here for crypto this morning. Here's IBIT in the pre-market. Back to 62, kind of chopping around 62, which if you go back to last week, zoom out a little bit, was a huge level of support before it let go Thursday and Friday going into the weekend. I mean, we mentioned a couple of the smaller ones, BMNR, CLSK with their own catalyst today. as far as crypto, Bitcoin is concerned. Nice bounce though so far.
Yeah, we saw an aggressive retracement, guys, dropping below the 110,000 Brendo last week, touching that $100,000 area. But much like what it did before, it's quick to retrace off that $100,000 level, and now it's holding 110 again, that previous area of support that we had been watching for so long. So yeah, it rose over 2% in 24 hours, peaking I think at 111,000 and change, really signaling here the potential stabilization after that steeper correction. And let's say the move suggests a local bottom may be forming, with potentially BTC preparing for a short-term bullish reversal. This recovery, though, does follow, guys, the Federal Reserve's dovish pivot last week. We know Chair Jerome Powell hinted that quantitative tightening, QT, may soon end, and rate cuts could follow. So the potential for a liquidity withdrawal, because that's what QT is viewed as a tailwind risk tailwind, I should say, for risk assets, which Bitcoin still classified as a risk asset. But I want to say, Brendo, some potential headwinds here. The trade uncertainty still with China, because it's still viewed as a risk asset. If we get an aggressive, maybe commentary between the two leaders of the country, or if the APEC summit meeting, Brendo, on the 28th, I believe it starts, doesn't go that well, we could see more volatility to the downside.
Yeah, huge market, obviously, that is untapped, or could potentially still be. Is there up or down pressure? Thoughts, guys?
Well, I don't know. From here, it looks like up on the chart, because support turning into resistance has been a really big thing for Bitcoin, specifically on the daily chart. So you go all the way back to, let's get rid of that little pop-up, and you go all the way back into late last year, and it was resistance at 108 a couple times, and we pull back. You got that nice 77, you got the nice 91s, and all of a sudden that same high has turned into support. It's the third time it bounces off it, so if you like a support line, buy a support line, and if it's bouncing off a support line, favor the longs till it gets to the next resistance. Like on the daily, that says 116. So when I get that bottoming tail wick, I'm looking for continuation to 116. Now, obviously, you're going to end up trading IBIT as a day trade, so those prices don't necessarily coincide. You can just look at the chart of IBIT, and we were mentioning that, I guess, at the beginning of the show as well. Like on Thursday, Wednesday, and then going back to Tuesday, you had a support at about 62.5. Call it 62.25 to 62.5. So that's the level that, for me, just needs to hold today for IBIT. Like, as long as we can hold, it's going to be sitting in this range here. It's going to look like, whatever on a 3-minute chart. But as long as we can hold on to that, I'm favoring the longs here in IBIT. They throw in, as long as that happens, MARA off at 20, I think, can be a trade as well on any dip.
Bitcoin's in like a very, very big channel here. Like, really, it's almost, if you take away, obviously we had this dip back in March and April, right? But like, if you go all the way back into last year, like we had that little bump up there into 89,000. That was about now, end of November. So got another month to go here. And then that really started to kick off here into, tech earnings season, into the winter. Nice move higher right there, right? So what we did last year is, and again, like I'm not going to sit around here and ask people if they bought the dip or not. Like I did that already, and if you did, great. You have to believe in whatever stock you believe in. You should be buying dips. And if you believe in Bitcoin, like this is what we were doing last summer. That's squeaky. Last summer we were really basing out again, right? Like we based out for almost all of the spring. This is 24 into the summer of 24. Finally broke out in the fall. So I kind of look at it as, again, if you take away all of this right here, because this is that, a global sort of tariff crisis there. I don't know, what do we want to call it, but Liberation Day, I know it was called. So if you take away that, you're kind of in that exact same channel again, looking to break out right now. We did have a little bit of an early breakout when we took it out right here, 112, all the way up into 125. But I still feel like this is very similar looking to what we tried to do here, break out, and then we had that big move into year end, and then some nice buying at the beginning of last year, or this year. So I'm wondering if the same thing is about to happen right now. You're really trying to bounce off this 200 period moving average. You're trying to hold off of this 108. This is why I bought that dip at 108. Let's not wait to see if we come out and take down 125. It's looking pretty healthy to me. I think crypto continues to work here. I was looking to put money to work, man. We've been selling some tops and trying to buy some bottoms, and I think this is a good opportunity right here with BTC. So I'm doing that again, and yeah, talk to me in a little bit. You know, we were on here with our Halloween costume, pounding the table to buy Bitcoin. I think that was 70 or 80,000, even lower than that. So like right now, we got to just make sure that we're okay with it. If you like the space, I think it's worth buying some. And if you don't, then nothing wrong with that. We know that half of our audience are not crypto holders. So interesting space to look to get involved if you're not. And you know, if you're waiting for a bigger dip, I don't blame you. I do think the market does have a little bit of a pullback coming, but at the same time, I think the chart looks like it's trying to go. So we'll see if it can hold these levels and break out to new highs heading into tech earnings. You just got to wait to see what tech does. I mean, if Tesla misses and Google starts missing, you already see, I mean, we don't have Amazon on here, but these guys are sort of firing off right now that there could potentially be some kind of, you know, situations here with retail, and I don't really know what's wrong with Amazon right now, but that's a move to the downside. If they don't have a great report, maybe we get a lot lower in Amazon here as well, looking at $200. But yeah, I like Bitcoin here, and I like the space. You know, other names. I should have bought MARA down there at 13 or 14 bucks, but this had a nice run as well and has dipped down just a little bit here over the last day or two. So that's giving you some opportunities to buy some MARA back into some of these levels as well. And there's that level that I was talking about, looking to buy some. I guess it was 14.15, not 13.14, but look at that base and then the rip, right? So we could get back into these areas as well. Ebbs and flows in the crypto market, very similar to Nasdaq. We said that they moved together, so Bitcoin's up, Nasdaq's up today. We'll see if that can continue right there. Go Mariners, says Adam James. We want to thank you for the super chat right there here today. I think you're going to need...
Not going to happen.
You're going to need some work there today. Yeah, the Jays are pretty hot right now, so we'll wait to see what winds up happening. What? Oh, Adam. Yeah, well, you know, I put
every team has to look. Everyone loves their team. So, yeah, fair enough, man. You support, if you're a Mariners fan from Seattle or that area, like of course you should support your team. Like how could you not? I don't think they're going to win, but you should support them.
All right, let's go back over to the desk.
Coming up this week for earnings, there was a forever seller throughout the day at 440 going back to Friday. You can see a very, very flat top here, maybe even in front of 440. Any kind of offer was just
ridiculous.
repeating right through to the close. So we gapped through that. That's the good news. We gapped through that here this morning.
Yeah, and we're going to get more information on Wednesday, Brendo. So if you guys are ready for Tesla earnings, you got to be with us on the market recap show on Wednesday. But let's talk about what's going on. Trading about 1% and change here in the pre-market ahead of Q3 earnings. Again, Wednesday after the close. The rally really follows optimism from our very good friend Danny Ives at Wedbush, who said, after a brutal few quarters, we're finally seeing stable demand trends for Tesla. So what's he talking about? Well, we know Tesla delivered just shy of 500,000 vehicles for Q3, which would be a 7% year-over-year increase. But we know for a fact that there was a lot of pull forward. Why? Because the September 30th expiration of the $7,500 EV tax credit definitely had incentives for people to buy. Brendo, still year-over-year for the first half of 2025, we're still down 13% as compared to the prior year for deliveries. So let's see what they have to say on the earnings call. We're going to be talking about robotaxi. We're going to be talking about Cybercab, Optimus, all the new things.
I want to see as well if there's any mention to how the cheaper models have fared so far since making their debut on the website. If you remember, it was kind of a lackluster launch, if you will. It wasn't even a launch. It was just, and they're now available. So we'll see what happens here coming up on Wednesday, guys.
Yeah, I mean, if you throw out all the stuff about the pay package and, understand that, of course, we have to wait for earnings for a couple of days this week. Like last week and the week before. You're not just talking about last week's level of 440. Like, it's been 2 weeks in a row that the $440 level has just been a brick wall on Tesla. Tesla's been doing just fine, sort of consolidating up here. Oddly enough, like 420-ish support and then that 440 level, which was a great place to be short. Like, it ran up, gave you that 440 short on Friday that we liked, like Obi was in it as well, so you're above it now. If you hold resistance literally every day for like 7 or 8 days in a row, my first thought when you break it is turn that sucker into support. As long as we hold on to 440, maybe even the prior close is 439 because we just closed just a hair under it. That's the zone I'm looking for the dip buy in Tesla. You know, after Apple, like this is the next one. It was just a great trade off of that level. So why not look to that level again? And, you know, all bets can be off once you have the settle down after earnings. It's been a very good rally. Like this is a stock that has literally doubled. You know, 220 to 440, obviously like 2x from those April lows, and done very well. And it's into some possible resistance. I'm just looking for that play off of 40. I think you got some room to see that 450, 455 this week before we get into earnings. And then from there, we just react to them.
All right, look, right here, Tesla, we have a 446 breakout. I think this is going to be another hot trade here today. We'll see if it can work out, but we'll see if we can break that 446, which is the pre-market sort of high that we've been seeing right now. We'll see if it can come through. And then I'm also looking, you know, with earnings coming through, we can hold out hope that they can somehow beat. But right into here, you know, like, I don't know, 442, you know, might be something there. But again, I don't really want to catch a falling knife. So let me let it come back in and see if we can hold some of these levels. So it'll be between 440 to 442. And then there's the 440, whoopsies. And then there's the 446 right now trying to break through it. So we'll see if we can really get going. It's been some nice little moves higher. But 446 is just a pre-market break. This is really sort of the area right down into here that we're looking between 440 and 442. So we'll see if we can hover around there and take off to the upside. But again, I like Tesla. I think a pre-market break there for TSLA is something that we need to get on. So right now I'm seeing 445. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Rob, right there. Better than that book you were going to get me, that's for sure. And then right into here, there it is right here, 446. So I don't know. It's kind of in this area. Maybe it's 445. That's 446 back here. That's 447. So we have some problems, but if we're going to get to 450, we got to take out 446, right? So yeah, we're going to look long and see if we can put some damage on the board here for TSLA. I know it was a little bit of a rough day on Friday, but we're going to wait to see what winds up happening here with Tesla breaking through 440, good level, and we're going long. So I just saw someone put in the chat about SoFi. SoFi is a recent dip buy opportunity as well that we had, and we'd like to see if we can make some more dips on SoFi as well back into 25. Looks like we got that opportunity to do that again. We recently bought last time at 25, looking to be maybe a buy again upside, but 28, 29. Some good sells recently, man. Even like Marvell last week. I'm not even sure why I wind up selling this one, but we did get out of some of this last week as well on Thursday or whatever day I was here. They had a nice move up to 89 again. I feel like sometimes selling some of these names is not the right thing to do, but when you get into rule-based trading, sometimes you got to take something off the top. So, you know, getting out of that SMR and maybe buying that back might be something that we wind up doing at some point. Salesforce had a wild week last week. We can have, I mean, wild news, but now I see the price, it's not really moving that much here again. Yeah, so wild moves, but at the end of the day, still staying right here, right now. Salesforce is the next one, I think, to get going. I'm already long this name and don't believe in it too much, but if this one can get going here, 260 break on CRM looking real nice. So there's a couple good ideas coming through right now. So yeah, we are very, very excited for Tesla to hold that 440 to 442. Let's see if we can get that going.
Let's go to Boeing here. Nice pop this morning. Not a lot of volume so far, however. Holding on to 215, a bigger level if you zoom out a little bit. This is why FAA greenlighting more production for the 737 MAX. If you missed it or forgot, that was the one that the door fell out of. So they've done some manufacturing scrutiny, I guess, or safety checks, and now they're letting them build, what, 3 more?
There you go, Brendo.
They previously were.
Yeah.
Or 4 more, I guess.
Yeah, a few. Yeah, exactly. 4 more. 42 from 38. You know, it's important for them because the limit wasn't put in place, as Brendo mentioned, after that Alaska Air MAX 9 mid-air emergency incident. But the FAA said inspectors conducted extensive reviews of Boeing's production lines and concluded the increase could be done safely under enhanced oversight. But this is really important for Boeing because they don't get paid until they actually deliver the planes. The company receives most of its payment upon delivery. So Boeing remains heavily indebted, as we know, $53 billion in debt. Compare that to 2018 when they had their last profitable year. They only had $12 billion in debt. Analysts expect, though, Boeing to remain unprofitable, Brendo, for the remainder of this year, but they see the scaling up as the potential for 2026 to be the first profitable year since 18.
Let's be positive. It is a positive headline for a company that has had very few over the past year or so. So to the upside, guys, after a nice day on Friday.
Like, I don't think Boeing, it's no Sean, I don't think this is a day trade necessarily, but I do like this story for Boeing. And really, you know, it's been looking for something else to get it going. Recovery, fantastic. It's not like there's many games in town here. And when you look at a lot of the deals that have been getting done, and I'm talking about all the trade deals that have been getting done, you've been slapping on some Boeing orders to go with it. A lot of them are going to be long term, obviously. So I think they're getting over the hump, and it just keeps on holding this 210. I really think I was kind of waiting for this to get back, either test the 200-period moving average, which I've been stink bidding down there for a bit, and obviously I have not been getting filled. Kind of hoping we'd get a little bit lower to go long and add to my position. I still have some Boeing in my long term, not as much as I used to, but this is one that I'm looking to add. So whether it's going to be 200, which seems unlikely, or this now bottoming tail wick at 210, I do like. As long as you can close a couple of days above this 210 level, I think just sort of entering back into this for long-term makes sense. I like the story. I don't think it's a day trade, but I do really like this for Boeing and think they can now start to press back into those highs. It's been waiting for something to happen, and I feel like this story could be it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good little lift there from 42 planes up from 38. That's obviously big for Boeing's recovery plan, right? So, yeah, up another 1.3%. You know, good little levels here. I mean, I like it. I was actually just looking here at a monthly chart for Boeing and think it still needs to break through here, 260, before you get, you know, super excited about a potential breakout. I mean, it's really been doing, and again, if you've been invested in this since 2020, it's been a nothing burger. So you got to remember some of the things like that. Like, it's easy to look at these stocks, but then when you look back at it, you got to think like, okay, no dividend, nothing really happening with the stock. If anything, it's still looking like there's a lot of pressure to the downside here for Boeing. So sure, I like it, but I don't think I like this name until like 170, like 180, something in here. Like I just, you know, again, I like the story, but it's pretty like this is 2017. Actually, we can go all the way back, you know. So sure, it has these nice pops up, but did you get out up here, you know? And if you bought back down into here, that's still a great buy, but it's not. You know, there's better names out here, but to diversify, sure, grab some Boeing. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you even look at the Nasdaq, where the Nasdaq was in 2017, where the S&P 500 was in 2017, where the Dow Jones 30 was, and we can go on and on and on, where Bitcoin, anything was in 2017, I bet you it's not flat. So right into here, 213 for Boeing, very, very disappointing the last decade. We'll see if the next decade can be a good one for BA.
On to WW, there's actually a couple of the stocks that are tied to their short percentage popping up here this morning. We didn't mention this in the first half an hour, but Beyond Meat up significantly, back above $1. I mean, we're right at it right now. We're right at $1 trying to hold. As far as I can tell, it's still about 60% short for BYND. A lot of online chatter regarding BYND. WW, on the other hand, was again another stock at one point, had a very significant short float. We're down to about 3.5% only from what I see right now, but teaming up with Amazon here.
Yeah, this is a really good look for them, Brendo, because they were focusing on something completely different. Now they're getting into the very hot GLP-1 game. So let's talk about this. Amazon partnership to deliver, yes, these GLP-1 obesity medications, including the injectables that we all know, Wegovy and Zepbound, is going to be directly to members' home. The integration allows customers to check real-time drug availability and order refrigerator prescriptions in temperature-controlled delivery. Very important for these GLP-1s. So the history of Weight Watchers a little checkered here. They emerged from bankruptcy back in July, which helped them eliminate debt and pivot towards, digital telehealth and focus again on these GLP-1s. Competitors took a bit of a different path. They went with the generics like Hims and Hers. They went with compounding pharmacies, which caused a bit of a problem. Weight Watchers didn't do that. They aligned directly with Novo Nordisk as well as Central Well Pharmacy for their distribution. And separately, Brendo, Amazon's been spending up a storm here to expand their pharmacy footprint. $4 billion through 26. They want to triple delivery capacity and add same day, next day service to another 4,000 US towns for these prescriptions. Not a bad look. Prime members get 1 or 2 day deliveries.
Light volume here, however, guys, for WW International at this point.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for like a short float name to go, you're probably interested in Beyond Meat today. I mean, WW, okay, fine. It looks like they might have something going, making a little bit of a low after the restructure coming out of bankruptcy for them, and up 7%. But when I look at it, the spread, $29 stock spread is in exactly $1 right now on 18,000 shares. So even if it were to somehow break away and it still has to go another $1 to be a breakout trade well over the $30 level, I think you just got to sit that one out. Now, Beyond Meat, on the other hand, I get it. Like, I don't like them necessarily. Like, I don't eat their products. And oftentimes we've seen this course of action. Like, you get to the doldrums. They did have a restructuring plan, which is going to dilute some shares in an effort to stay alive here. And it's trying to fill in the gap. The key word, trying. There's a battle happening at $1 right now on Beyond Meat. Were it to break above, this is about let's call it 115. Right, so 112 into like 116 or so was that gap resistance level. As long as we hold in here, look at the battle at $1. Like, this has a really decent chance to just randomly fill in the gap. Why? Well, because it's got a big short float, and even when things are potentially going bankrupt, like, shorts have to cover at some point. So again, just looking at that $1 to hold the open, play into that 112 to 116 level, and then if it breaks out from there, you could actually go into squeeze land. But just be wary. Like, that loses a bid at $1, and the next support looks like it's 85 cents or so. So like, that $1 really needs to hold that open. It's underneath VWAP, which is typically something I don't like to see, but you need one press at the open to hold the volume weighted average price here, Beyond Meat just above $1. Double check. I think we had to pay for low K. It's not that I'm really intending on going short, but I did pay for them just on the off chance that this does fall apart under $1.
So I have Beyond Meat going as a short at $1.20. So if you get an opportunity to short that, we'll do it. Right now we do have the imbalances that are now out. So Beyond Meat coming with a bid. So again, if we can short that around 120, we'll do that for sure. That's the high. Got to short that all day. Archer, we had a great trade on that last week. We'll see if that can do anything today. LAC as well, 717. There's our guy SoFi trying to go, but there's really nothing on here that's anything of value. I mean, we talked a little bit about Cliffs here today, up that 15%, so we'll have to watch out to see if they start to make a new level there. I guess 1450, a good pullback area for Cliffs into the 200 period moving average. So there's still that. There's Ethereum as well with a small little bid. But, nice bids here to start the day. We'll see if there is going to be a little bit of a pullback in some of these names. There's BBI 7 and change. Yeah, so 750, that's going to try to hold some of those bids from Friday as well, down there at 7 flat. So we can wait to see if the brigade is going on there or not. And then Open Door. We did sell some Oracle on Thursday that I see some Oracle down there as a sell of 200,000. We'll see if that's anywhere near $300 again. Here's Open Door with a decent seller rate here, 150,000 shares on the offer. So we'll have to watch out for Open Door. Oracle, 288. Okay, so that sell of 319 looks like it's going to be pretty good, as Oracle, one of the red names there today, nicely in the downside as well. So, okay, sometimes we sell and we get it right. So looks like that was a good one there for Oracle. We'll see if we can pick something back up on this. This is a name where I have no problem selling up here at 320, obviously, now that we look back at it. Let's see if we can sell at 320 and then get long somewhere around here, 250 or 260 for Oracle. I think that's a W. Make $80 the other way. We'll do that. And then what I'm waiting for here today, of course, is Apple. I'm already bidding Apple. We'll see if we can get this back into 255. It's trying to come down right right now off of a little bit of a sell here. So I'm sitting here bidding this. I don't know, again, if we want to take shares first thing off the open, but we just hit 255.50. 255 flat is the 200 period moving average. We'll sit there and see if we get that. But yeah, sticky notes are out there. And yeah, Lululemon, you guys know we recently bought some of this as well. And nice day today for Lulu. So we'll see if this can get back up to the upside here. Sneaky play, Lululemon. I think it works down off of these levels, been beat up so much. So, you know, talking about a name that has some get up to it. We'll see if Lululemon can get going. Now a minute and a half before the open.
A minute and a half before the open. We didn't really talk too much about the chips. Remember on Friday, AMD went from support at the 234.35 to resistance at the 234 to 235 level. So looking for that to also hold. If it doesn't hold, you know, wait for 230 bucks there on AMD. Been super strong. And then there was some decent movement here in SMCI worth keeping on watch. 5% to the upside, potential breakout here at the 56 level. But I'm thinking dip buys. It's been one of those last couple of weeks where you are seeing at the open a lot of shake and bake. So prefer dip buys to breakout trades almost 10 times out of 10. So Apple, Tesla, that 440 level, Nvidia not doing much. Advanced Micro Devices is going to be in play. Bitcoin, as long as we can hold on to 108,000. Gonna like this 62 levels. We're about to ring the bell for the first time this week. Earnings in play, but we don't have too much to worry about with regards to earnings, unless you care about Zion Bank last aftermarket. I'm sure some people do because the regionals have been a little bit crazy. But let's get this party started. Opening bell on Monday, which is Game 7 Monday as far as I'm concerned, in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go.
All right, so the only thing that we may be able to get into would be Tesla here, but it's making a nice little fade downside here for TSLA. We wrote down, yeah, okay, 438, so we got to get a little bit of a dip more in here for Tesla as the market pulling upside. Tesla bouncing right here into the 200, but going a lot lower right now is TSLA. Okay, forget Lulu. Wow, nice little rip there for Lululemon. All right, Apple, yeah, man, I mean, we marked down 255. It gets down to 255.50. Now you're at 257, looking like it wants to rip through the top here as well. So it looks like Apple trying to go upside. I'm not into anything yet. We're also looking for the TQQs, but that's a rip city. We wrote down 104, or was it 104? Yeah, 104, 105 there for TQs. That bounces off VWAP as well. So the morning is here and the market is starting to rip. What a surprise. Up 0.73 right now for the NSDQ.
Yeah, Apple's super strong right now. Bitcoin's not really doing much. What's actually pulling back, if anything, was Nvidia at the open. That just lost the volume weighted average price. That immediately made me think of AMD, which did not really get down to that 234 level. But I guess it's just the chips that dipped a little bit here so far today. Tesla, we said nothing into that 440 level, but it is now breaking out. So Tesla is going to the upside. We are favoring longs on Tesla, no question about it. And watch out for Beyond Meat, because it's still, there's a bunch of shares at $1, and it's just holding the dollar for now. Nothing too crazy off the open, like a 2-cent range on Beyond Meat so far. I don't think that's going to hold. It either breaks this bottom, I think could easily drop 10 to 15% if it loses the buck.
I was going to try. We almost got into Tesla there. Breaking through that 46 level, but here comes a dip again. Like, so it's a nice move down. I mean, they are definitely selling this Tesla. Wow, into 440. Okay, glad we didn't take that. I'm going to try it now though on this move lower here for. Oh, we just tried to buy it, we missed it. So there it is. Okay, so now we're into this one at 442. Let's see if it wants to go right now. Again, we'll see if we can put $1 on the board right now, but this is a very violent stock, so we got to give it a shot and let it just settle down just a little bit here. 442 right now for Tesla. Watch out, man. We don't want to be in this if it breaks too much below this 440 early, and that way we can definitely see. There it is. All right, Neil, we're already in it, man. There's our first dollar club for the day. We'll go 1 for 1 over here. Now it's a big one now, actually. So here it is now $1.40 as we continue to go higher on Tesla. The number 2 stock written here on the sticky note. Now $1.70 now in the money. You've got Apple on your mind over there?
Oh, yeah, Apple for sure. Apple up 2.5 points. It's about to get to the all-time high if we don't do any kind of a dip soon. 250, call it 250. 259 high to 260, something in that range. But the prior high is 57.5, so I'm going to try and buy it in front. If we don't get the dip into 55, actually I can cancel that one and see if we can't get this top in here. Still looking, that Beyond Meat is one heck of a battle at that dollar level if you happen to be watching it, as it just keeps on going back and forth. But first dip available about to come here on Apple, as it's now holding 258. Come on, get me filled. Get me filled. There we go. Oh, I was bidding underneath 58. I'm actually bidding 57.98. That's why you don't get filled at 58, because you're bidding just underneath it. So Apple pretty strong on those iPhone sales, and market breaking out. We're back. We're above 25,000, which we should have mentioned. That's been a big level, and heading toward those highs. Led by Apple, not by Nvidia. Ooh, Nvidia just took low of the day. Yeah, the chips aren't very strong this morning, it doesn't seem.
No, they're not at all, are they? All right, so we're into Tesla, and it's the only name that we're in right now. It's another dollar on the reload right now for Tesla. So we'll see. Hopefully that Apple can work out. But right now we're 85 cents now in the money on TSLA, and looking to see if it gets going. I still do like 446 there on TSLA. But you know, what's the market doing right now? The Nasdaq is up 0.8. The ES is up 0.63. We're starting to go. We'll have to watch out for cryptos not doing a whole heck of a lot. There it is right now. Yes, let's go Tesla on the reload. We're going to give it a minute, man. I mean, whatever. I can stop out now. I can get out now, take the dollar, but we're going to let it just go. Actually, here, let's take out 5% right now. There it is. We got another 5% out at 90. Now we'll see if we can really get going here. I'm going to put a 443.40 area here, and then we'll see if it can fly. But we're going to drop this out if it breaks 441. We already have our stop in mind right now, so 84 cents worth of risk here. And we've been getting out, but we want to sit in this one just to see if it wants to work. So that's what's going on there. JP Morgan and some of the bank stocks continue to struggle a little bit here. Only up now 0.4, but still dancing around, not doing a whole heck of a lot there. Is this this market, the financials right now just chilling out. And then IWM, just have a quick little look here at the market in general. IWM right now up 1.55%. So yeah, man, so far so good here with Tesla, over 50 cents in the money. We'll see if it can continue to work out. But right now, just in that one trade. AMD, the other idea that I had was honestly Beyond Meat for the short. So we could have to wait to look to see if that's happening. Obviously, it's not doing anything there, BYND. But there it is, man. The Dollar Club is here with Tesla. You just got to trade the right name sometimes, and hopefully Tesla will be that one for me today. If we can just get through and give me something upside of 443, then we'd be happy. But it's got to hold this level for now. So far, so good.
Yeah, so far so good. The market is holding up higher. It's just not a matter of that for the chips. I got to go over to AMD. Apple's still bouncing right off of that 58 level, trying to take some 58 halves up there, as AMD's trying to hold on to VWAP right here. So it did bounce off 235-ish. That's step one. Step two, hold on to the volume weighted average price, and then this one can get going. It's stronger right now than Nvidia, as Nvidia's down, AMD's up 2%. Let's go to the desk. I believe we've got Adara.
One name that's pretty strong here this morning is Netflix. We talked to, of course, Tesla reporting earnings after the bell on Wednesday, NFLX reporting earnings after the bell on Tuesday. Volume on this is not huge. It's roughly 500,000 shares on the day, but either way, NFLX, nice push to the upside on no news beyond possible excitement ahead of that earnings report. Back to you.
No, I didn't hear anything she said. I don't think my ear thing is working.
Thank you. We have some sound issues just listening to the desk over there.
Yeah, we are just I mean, we're, again, I know it was probably super exciting with Neil and Obi there on Friday, but right here, man, now we have 250 in the money. I hope I'm sure there was some bangers there on Friday, but Neil, now this is 350 in the money. How's your Apple doing? We're doing so far so good here on Tesla. 350 now in the money.
Yeah, Apple just bounced. We got able to get 55, 58 half, and trying to reload it right here over those highs. 59 is still going to be that top over there on Apple. Great look on Tesla. I'm still up. 440 was my level. It never came in down there. So I guess I have to go for either volume weighted average price to get into this bad boy. I'm not taking the breakout, so VWAP's going to have to be the thing. So I did not favor any breaks today, so I'm going to stick with that plan of action. SMCI is breaking out, though. Thank you very much to Sharif. It did break that 56 level, so that's looking very, very strong. But AMD, Tesla, I'm going to stick with the names on the list, at least for now. AMD, Tesla. AMD's not holding VWAP. Apple's holding. Tesla, going to look at that volume weighted average price to see if that can hold. Right now, you're just essentially inside 41 to 46 and breaking and failing some of those highs over and over again. Nothing happening when it comes to crypto. So Bitcoin's in a 10 to 15 cent range. That's not going to cut it whatsoever. So pretty much no trade there on Bitcoin. Going to go for another reload here on Apple. As long as that holds VWAP, it's still a bullish stock.
Yeah, hopefully that can go. We got some more out there. I mean, it went right back up to 446 again for us. So we're starting to empty out the clip a little bit here on Tesla. As I mean, I can see what the market's trying to do right now. It does hit a high. Again, we bounced through 25,000 now. So I think all is probably well. Let's check out what OSCR is doing. The Nasdaq right now up 0.94 and starting to get going here again. Bitcoin up 10.7. So that's not doing too much. OSCR, nice move up to 20 bucks. 20 bucks again, and then the fade out for OSCR. We're gonna have to wait for that. Let's check out some WeBull. I mean, I think this has a chance to bounce off 11 right now. Pretty quiet right now for WeBull. We did write down. I mean, we have written down on our note here Beyond Meat as that short. It didn't get into our level for that short, but I still like the short of dollar break there. We've got Apple longs, Tesla long, TQQ, and Beyond Meat short. So right now we'll set the pace here, obviously, with Tesla, you know, in the account today. So this is a big trade here, as we've hit our daily goal with this trade, but it's only the one trade that we've had so far. I do like Alibaba actually, and some of these Chinese worries. Again, if we do get any lower for Alibaba, I mean, at some point I gotta buy that. I was waiting for 150, but 157 may just be good enough for BA right there as well. Checking out gold. I always want to make sure that we're checking out the market. I was watching the show there on Friday from home, and I noticed that it was hard to sort of sometimes follow what the market was actually doing. So there's gold right now up 2%. So that's a nice little move as well. Silver had its movements over the last couple of weeks. That's a little down here off the open, but still up that 1.17% right now. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a look here on what's been happening. And then IBIT not doing much at all. Looking at the crypto space here for, oops, that's BIT, IBIT. We did want to look at MARA maybe, but yeah, this is
not moving enough.
Yeah, I was going to say not much is going on. And then Amazon with that outage. I want to buy some Amazon down here. It's just at the 200 period moving average right now. So I was going to give it a little bit of an opportunity to work itself out. I haven't bought any Amazon anytime recently, but I think like right into here, it's starting to get a little interesting. You know, last week some of these dips looked okay into 218, 219. So we're just getting a little bit of a bigger discount right now for AMZN. But looks like your Apple's going to work out. I'm trying to, it's too bad. I should have been buying some Apple as well, but we've got 250 in the money right now for Tesla, and we've still got some good shares going on right now. But we'll go over to Adair and see what go on.
Some strength here in Intel, INTC. The only story in this I can find is KeyBank reiterating a sector rating and $35 price target. So again, reiterated rating, not a new rating. Nothing super exciting here, but they did note that they're expecting potentially better Q3 results and better Q4 guidance from INTC during their earnings report, which is going to happen after the bell on Thursday. So INTC on watch here with a note from KeyBank. That came out though before the bell. Nothing new to explain this pop right at the open, guys. Back to you.
Thank you for that note on Intel here. Like Intel, $38. I know Joe was talking about that level for big options. Well, it's a big optionable level, obviously, but it's also exactly where this thing turned on Friday. So as long as it can, it's a topping tail nasty wick on Friday that dropped back like $1.50. So as long as it can get above and hold 38, I think the long can be on here in Intel. I'm looking over at AMD, which is not really, if that's not going to be the chip name, Intel's moving, Intel's stronger, pivot to Intel. If it can close, here we go, closing above VWAP as we speak. Hasn't really done so yet. Another close above the volume weighted average price. I think that's a name that I would love to jump into. Beyond Meat does not hold on to the dollar yet, so it's holding underneath the $1 level. If it does the 15-minute candle underneath a buck, well, if it's an over-under, the under part of the under is to look for the short trade. That's why I paid for locates on Beyond Meat. We got about 3 minutes to go to close a 15-minute candle, but it looks like it's going to lose that battle with the dollar level. So Intel now going to be on the mind if the other chip names aren't going to show me any strength here today. I'm favoring longs, and Nvidia is not doing anything. AMD is not doing enough, and Intel seems to be holding a breakout.
All right, so let me just reset this. This is something that you can get into the chat right now. We have Navitas up there. Repel, this is one that there's been a lot of people talking about. I'm not going to reset it. Just get in here and start to vote by putting $, circle, $, bull, $, whatever you want. Throw it in here and it will start to populate here. Rigetti could be an interesting name to look at again here today, but REPL is that, wow, I mean, Tesla's really holding fort for me here today as looks like it's going to be a great one. Adara, what is the news on REPL here today? Up 62, 100% right now, exactly. So, yep.
So they were actually on our watch list this morning. They got the FDA accepting their resubmission of their biologic license applications for one of their treatments for advanced melanoma. So that was the FDA news. Then after that comes out, Wedbush actually upgrades the stock to outperform with an $18 price target. So that's the deal with REPL.
Okay. So a little bit of a news there, some price target upgrades and whatnot for this this name. I mean, I think if we can get that, thanks Adara, if we can get that down here around 850 or so, I do have the thank you Adara thing there. Thank you, Adara.
Thank you, Adara.
There it is. Oh, we're still on Adara's screen. That's okay.
Sorry.
Hey, Adara, I hope you're doing well.
I'm trying to turn off my light.
How was the weekend?
It was okay. It was a weekend. I did some writing, and now I'm gone.
Ooh, some writing. You like some writing. What genre, may I ask?
Dark. Just dark.
Dark. Ooh, my favorite. Okay, so yeah, dark.
I'm very curious as to what that might be. WeBull breaking out. Look, there've been a lot of people saying they're having issues with like WeBull in general.
The WeBull site.
Yeah, because at first I was like, why is everyone complaining about WeBull in the chat? Because Webull's up 1% and bouncing, but apparently people might be having issues with Webull and executing on Webull. Not good, unfortunately. Hopefully they get that resolved.
Stay long.
Bull is looking fantastic. Well, at least it looks good for today. I won't get there. I won't say anything. People complain about Robinhood as well. Remember, there was that big AWS outage. So there's a lot is being affected by that AWS outage. So I would probably, I don't want to say it's for sure related to that, but there've been all kinds of complaints. And obviously it sucks. Thankfully, we're still here and it has not affected us.
Yeah.
As I said, gonna get over to INTC, trade stations down as well.
Oh, Tesla.
Wow, if it's affecting that many, I wonder what happens to some of the retail type names and the small cappers if they're gonna get affected by that kind of an outage. Just curious to think about.
Yeah, this is a big outage.
There'd be a lot of volume that would go down from those.
Yeah, no, be careful if you are, if you're relying on anything that's been going in and out. Like, I think that it's, if you know Webull is going down, there are those scheduled, or there's those notes there about Amazon AWS. So just make sure that you're, comfortable with your trades and don't put on too much risk if you're noticing that the system goes down. We sometimes have that here. That's why we always use stop orders. So I was going to say, like, if you are in a position, put out your stop order, and then that way it should trigger a server side anyways. So if it's down, the internet connection's down, the Webull server side hopefully is still connecting to the Nasdaq or NOSE or wherever your stocks are located there, and you can figure that out. So I've only been in the one name here, and it's made the day. We one trade, and that's it. So we're done. Now we've made our goal here on this one, and I'm looking for more, obviously. So we've now traded. We have about 30% left of this name. It just keeps on ticking out in and around this 445. So if we're able to, we can sit here and hopefully try to catch a breakout of 446. But for right now, that's what I'm going to rest my sort of head on here. And if we're going to try to get out on Tesla, the out might just be this 443 right now, breaking somewhere in and around here. I don't want to give anything really back on this name. If it wants to go, then let's go, and let's just extend now, and then we don't have to worry about this. I'm waiting at 445.18. Don't know why it just stopped there. That was one of these levels. I was waiting at 445.18 right here, and it just stopped on me on a dime and then dropped back down $1. So we got to be very, very careful here. That's 442.75. I think that's worth getting out if it breaks back down below that. For the last, we'll get $1 on the last little bit. So let's put that order in right now. 442.75. If we break that, let's get out of 75% of what we have. We'll make $1 on that. But right now, to be up $3, cash some out up there, see if we can hold it to make 5, 6, 7, 8 like we've done, before. So let's just see if Tesla has that in it today. I don't think, you know, I've heard you mention, I know Apple's not doing anything. I can see that right now. It's nice that it's bouncing off 258. But I was going to say, like, Nvidia kind of not doing anything right now either. And then AMD kind of just stone cold chilling right now at this level as well, but going downside actually for AMD 235. So yeah, lots happening in different spaces. We will do a review of the market. We can't hear, so you just got to sort of let us know there, Andre, by yelling out when it's ready for Adara. So, yeah, so far so good here in this market. But AMD, nice little runner right now. You mentioned SMCI was breaking out.
SMCI and Intel are the two strong ones. No questions in the chip space. But here's that breakdown. Ooh, I did miss. And Beyond Meat just barely. I was offering 96, and it looks like 95 is going to be a little bit of a thing. It just lost $1, closed at 15, getting a candle by actually tanking a little bit there and heading to the downside. But I'm not going to chase that one. Intel still looking for this at the volume weighted average price. We'll see if we're able to pick that one up. And then, of course, SMCI. That's pulling back into VWAP. SMCI might get to VWAP before Intel does. Intel might not actually get there. As I said, those are the two strong chip names, so those are the two names that I want to play. So let's see if this one can pull back in and get a fill in front of the volume-weighted average price. There was a story in SMCI. I don't think she mentioned it. But I heard them mention SMCI in the pre-market. Just didn't hear the actual story. But I know there was a story with SMCI. I believe it had to do with a deal with XAI, Elon Musk, XAI.
Okay, stretching out today. Man, we just got it. We just got it. Money, not working. Sirens, not working. Oh, pardon me?
Oh, the server is not working.
Okay, so we don't have any emoticons either. Okay, so we just got out at 446 right there. That's where we are right now. Here's the breakout level, man. We are on this one right now, big time, right here. So this trade is really starting to extend itself out. So let's get 446.50. I mean, we did it again, man. I mean, we keep saying, oops, Brittany, we did it again. But there it is right there, man. Our Apple long, Neil's got it, so I'm happy for that. But we've got some good position on right now for Tesla. So the number 2 trade here, we came in again. And just sat down and ripped it. So we're really happy with that one. And I hope that you guys are also able to put on some cash here today, some cash Patel, and get that going to the upside here. Let's have a quick little look to see what is going on in this market as well today. Because again, like I said, I was watching it there on Friday and just some improvements. Looking at this a little bit more, I think the heat map, wow, now we're at 447, Neil. We're $5 in on the, did Obi have any $5? I don't know, I'll talk to Obi. Did you have any big trades on Friday?
Tesla was the $6 winner right off the open.
Yeah, you had that, or Obi?
440 short.
Good, perfect, man.
Well, it wasn't, no, it ran like $10 up. But it was like the short was actually the trade.
Was it a green day for you guys on Friday? Did you guys get?
Well, I don't remember if I was green on Friday all day, but I don't know. Nice. Look, I don't. At the end of the day, like I don't really look at like others P&L.
No, so just you. I didn't figure.
I remember. Here's what I know.
Wow, $7.
The short on gold was ridiculous off the open.
Yeah, good, good. Okay, so right here we have Apple. Apple up 2.33% right now. Broadcom up, Micron up. Right now, Google, Meta. Look at Oracle, down 2% right now. So, good little move there on the downside if you're into Oracle right now. Wow, Apple, this is $7 now. I mean, that's great that you had a $6 winner there on Friday. That's really good. There goes Tesla right now. Nice move there as well. Everything's starting to work out. Like we said, man, I mean, it's been a really good couple of months trading, and I just think that when you're in these bull markets, it shouldn't surprise you when you open these up and you start to see things like this. So absolutely monster there. Today Salesforce is nicely up as well. That hasn't been up for a minute, but yeah, there goes Tesla right into here right now. 447, $6. Let's just cash some more out. We're at 1.5 times daily goal, so let's just take a little bit out here. 447.70 right now. So good move here for Tesla, and a great move for Apple, and we're just really rocking and rolling right now. Big time P&Ls here today, guys, and I'm glad that you're here with us.
Yeah, the market just hit the high of the day. The Nasdaq up 1%, the ES lagging a little bit, but the important thing is, remember, 25,000 has been this sort of linchpin for the overall market. It just hasn't been able to do much with it. Now that we're breaking out the top, give it about 130 points from here, and then that's that crazy drop-off that happened on that Friday. So it was pretty nasty. Apple, myself, it went to target, so we're looking at the top end of the range. It could still break out the all-time high today, but every time it taps that 259, it's been rejected. So we're just going to keep buying it in front of the volume-weighted average price. If it ends up holding this range, then we're just going to work the range over and over again. Not much happening with that Intel move, but I wanted to get to. There's some small cappers going, and I see them in the chat for everybody in there. But the one that was on my mind was simply that dollar level on Beyond Meat, and it's really trending. It's actually trending down now pretty cleanly. I'm going to try and pick up these 95s, but there's some really large order flow walking this stock down. Like I just saw a couple 100,000 shares plopped at like 93. I saw it happen at 94 as well. So hopefully it can get back in, maybe play back into the volume weighted average price. But first look is going to be the 95 level. SMCI is a pure bounce off VWAP. And thank you to Adara for SMCI. It was unconfirmed rumors of a $900 million purchase from XAI. And she then puts in, but very speculative. So $900 million purchase, I mean, that's big. It's not, like, that's not that big either, up 7%. But then SMCI is a bit of a squeeze name. But that story's not nearly as good as I would like. Unspecified and less than $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really,
7%
that's chump change to be up 7%. But uptrend is uptrend, I guess. It doesn't really seem like much.
All right, we have, we only have like 20 to 25% left here for Apple, but I was waiting at 448.70. Let me put an offer here at 25s just to grab the quarter here. Hopefully we do continue to go upside here on Tesla, but let's look at something else right now for everybody. Let's look at some names we haven't looked at yet. Let's look at Google, 250. Okay, there he goes. We get that 448.25 now. Google not doing as strong right now either, with a nice little dip down into 255. 254.50, sorry. So that's a nice move down. Wow, Tesla, if Tesla can break through 250, we'll be real jam on that one. We're waiting in the 70s now to get another piece out. It looks like that'll be happening. That's Google right there. Apple just kind of doing its thing. We've already talked about that. Let's have a look quickly here at SMR as well, $45. SMR got going here today, nicely up to 46. We did mention some Rigetti there, as some of you guys want to. I'm here for you as the people's trader. Let me open up what this is showing right now for the people. Robinhood, wow, Robinhood. Okay, so Robinhood probably catching some nice drift, as you know, a lot of people there on our chat talking about WeBull being down right now. It's not really doing anything. WeBull, it's not really reacting to that down detector. So we'll wait to see. It did flush off the open, and I was wondering if that was creating some Robinhood love a little bit. But Robinhood always gets love in this market. It seems like another 5% there for Robinhood as we keep on getting higher and higher right now. Amazon 214, I mean, that's a low print there today. We're happy for Intel being where that is, obviously, as we're shareholders there. SoFi,
SoFi's strong today.
I'd like to see it a little bit higher. We just did get a real top tick right there on Tesla. And here we go, man. Apple, the big dog, waiting to see if that can break through 260, man. What a run it's been here for the PA for Apple. I mean, we had recently bought it right down here, 212 or so, and now up to 260. So a nice little run there for AAPL, and then there goes 650 now. We got some 449s. We got 448.70s for Tesla. I don't know, debating punching longer here and getting this Apple break at 260, man. It's already anointed, so this is going to break. And there it goes, 259 and change for Apple. What a trade there. Glad you had that one.
I can see this breaking.
Yeah.
But I could also, at 10 o'clock, I can also see that false break and then dip. So I'm sitting on 59 for a false break at 260. Like if 260 goes and then there's any dip into 259, I'm going to try and play that break in the back end through. Beyond starting to get back to that dollar level, that's Beyond Meat, BYND, of course. So we grabbed it at that 94. Still waiting for the $1 level. VWAP sits at 101. Small cappers, gappers, like one rule I do like. I think it's a smart rule, and it's one that I kind of abide by. Like, I prefer these things long if they're above the volume weighted average price. It happens to coincide with $1. So the $1 level is going to be key in more ways than one. Here comes Apple at that $260 level. Again, I'm thinking false break by the dip, but it could also just go to 260, not break 260, and get the dip anyways into the prior high, which is 59. We already played VWAP to 59. Let's play it in the other direction. Ooh, just got filled. So just got 911, oddly enough. And thank you for the super chat there, Adam Jones. We also got a super chat from Adam talking about the Mariners. How you all missed G-sit. G-sit. Well, I guess because we're sitting on our hands with G-sit, apparently. GSIT halted for the umpteenth time, it looks like, or at least for the third time today. GSIT, if you're watching the TAP theoretical auction price, looks like it's 14. Third time halted to today's GSIT. You can't catch all the small cappers, but if you have scanners up like an eSignal, which I just realized I don't have my hot list running, my trade rate's not running, so I probably would have seen this if my trade rate was up. Yeah, exactly. That GSIT halted third time today to the upside, up 160% on good volume as well.
Okay, so we're gonna watch out here. We don't. What's up to Adam Pac-Man Jones there? I don't have. I didn't really. I mean, missing something. We talk about this all the time. Like we're at a day and a half goal with Tesla alone. So I think it is very important to understand like that you got to really prioritize the trades. And I think that you're 100% right. There's always going to be trades that are missed, like literally every day. And that's sort of what I'm fine with. I'm fine with missing trades. Like, you know, because when you have these on, it really does make up. I'm going to take another piece out right here. It makes up for everything. And I mean, I'm trying to trade with more shares, so it's tough to look at, you know, multiple names. And I mean, there's that Beyond Meat, for example, right now, and it's just like it just broke through that dollar right there. So it looks like a good hold by you there right now. But this is the thing. Like these stocks move. Like right now, Beyond Meat right here, like from 90 cents, like up there, that's like a 10% move from the bottom. So this is what I mean, like a different kind of style you have to use when you're trading these as opposed to anything else, right? And so good little look there on Beyond Meat. We'll wait to see. Hopefully that can work out for Neil over there. I like Starbucks here. So I think this is definitely a play that we could talk about for the long term. Like I said, I bought some Lululemon on a depressed level. I think Starbucks, if and when the chart loads, I think that's also a good opportunity, and most recent opportunity that I'm trying to find some better trades than just saying, hey, you know what, guys, let's dip by Amazon or let's dip by Bitcoin like I've been doing, right? I bought some Target, and I think that this one also has an opportunity to get back to the upside right now, and it's trying to break out. So, you know, I like some of these plays, and then that's that. And then Lulu, again, I don't even know what it's doing today, but this was another one that we had bought on earnings, then dip bought. So it's actually doing quite nicely here today as well there for Lulu. So not bad. And I see you averaged into that Beyond there, so not bad. Let's see what winds up happening there. Now it's above $1.
Yeah, my stop's at VWAP, so we'll see what happens there. I did get back into Apple and into Intel for the first two. First Intel for the first time, but we said if we fail to break at 260 or don't break at 260, then buying the dip in front of the prior high. So we're going to continue to go step by step. The new position for myself is going to be Intel. Intel just held on to that 38 level. If you're remembering, not just because Joe said 38 was a big optionable level, but that's the level I want to hold. It's going to be a tight stop. I have to give it to the prior bar because it's still putting in these ridiculous topping tail candles every single time at the $38 level on Intel. So if it holds today, great. I think you're in breakout mode. But if it doesn't, that is a quick exit and willing to reverse. So got to give it to these prior bars here, but 37.84. If you're looking, is going to be the stop there on Intel. So Apple, Intel still, those two. And shout out to everyone on that GSIT. It is still halted. It should open in about 20 seconds or so. G-sit, that is. The current tap is now all the way down to basically break even. So it's not indicating it's going to open higher anymore, but should be open in just a few seconds. AMD apparently flying, but my eyes are going to be over here on Intel at the volume weighted average price. To see if that one can hold. Newest position at VWAP is Intel for me.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Are we going to? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear it. We're going to Adara.
No one here.
Can you test Unity? I don't think.
The market is continuing to push higher, shaking off any concerns on Thursday amid heightened China trade tensions and those lending concerns with regards to banks. We had a great day on Friday, and today continuing to the upside ever more so. So interesting look here for the market. And keep in mind, guys, it's a big week. We do have tons of earnings coming later this week. And we're expecting to possibly get the CPI print on Friday at 8:30 a.m. according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let's talk here about AMZN facing an outage. They just commented on said outage a couple of minutes ago. AWS here of Amazon saying that they've applied multiple mitigations in the US East 1 zone. That's the impacted zone here with the outage. And they're still experiencing elevated errors for new EC2 instant launches. It is worth noting that Robinhood is one of the companies that most recently, I'm seeing here on social media, commented on the outage saying it's not their fault. Amazon Web Services is having issues. Take a look here as well at INTC getting a couple analyst notes ahead of their earnings report on Thursday after the bell. Morgan Stanley hiking their price target for the stock from $23 to $36. And we also had some ratings maintained as well. So nice look there for INTC. And last but not least, Apple, AAPL. Great look off the gate for this one. They got a positive note from Evercore ISI, which maintained its strong rating here on Apple and added the stock to its tactical outperform list. But then Loop Capital upgraded Apple to a buy with a $315 price target. These positive analyst notes, coupled with apparently very strong sales in the first 10 days of the iPhone 17 series. Great look here for AAPL today. Pretty much all catalysts on its side, it seems like. Make sure to like and subscribe as we send you back to Neil and Sean.
All right, go ahead. I mean, I see. Right now, I have to say, I mean, Neil's the one actively trading here today, so I'm still in this one. Like I was, everyone in the chat's like, you don't need to have that many trades when you got this one. But right here, 450 now $8 in. We just got it out. They're at 449.80 for Tesla. So yeah, it's Apple, Beyond Meat, some Intel over there. I'm just looking at Tesla and maybe deciding if we want to take a break there at 450. But so far, so good here for TSLA and its shareholders. Today, up another 2.5%. I think earnings on Wednesday. So
Wednesday after the bell.
Yeah, that's why we had it on here, man. So far, so good here for Apple, or for Tesla.
Yeah, earnings after the bell, pay package. You heard some more about Cathie Wood lamenting the way that is going, but I don't look. The pay package thing, I think, is an overblown story. To be honest with you.
saying stuff?
Oh, yeah. It's like whatever. It's not even. I don't even think it's a nothing burger. She thinks Elon should get paid. Obviously, she believes in the company. What matters now is about automated driving. You want that full self-drive.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we get, like, at some point we want a smaller model. The robotaxi is the story. Optimus is the story. Elon sounding positive. Because Elon already said, last quarter that this could be challenging, and then maybe the growth would be in future quarters. So are we going to get some positive news there? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? I mean, deliveries are already starting to look a little bit better. That's what's going to matter for Tesla. I think the pay package story is just a bit of a distraction, but that's just my 2 cents. Right now, I'll get back to that GSIT for a quick little second, because Apple's trying to pull back into the volume weighted average price. Still cannot seem to break this $260 level and the all-time high. So right now, the thing I'd be concerned with is you technically have a potential failure of the all-time high. Right, like it's a failure testing this all-time high, which is like a double or a triple top or whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a triple top. So if that loses VWAP, generally I usually think that's a short. Anytime you fail an all-time high and then VWAP, I think shorting it, I'm going to go back into the long at least until that holds. Beyond Meat, until it breaks 95, I don't think can hit any home runs. It's holding under the volume weighted average price itself. So scalp to the low, try to refresh underneath $1 every single chance we get. And then for the chip names, like, the market is strong. The Nasdaq is literally breaking the highs as we speak. Like, here's the Nasdaq breaking out some of those tops. Not much in the way of the chips in terms of leadership. I mean, Intel, fine. What are they, like the 7th largest or 8th largest by market cap? Somewhere in there in the late top 10s, if you're talking about like semiconductor names. So they're really not that significant, and they're not going to move the needle. Nvidia, however, is down today. And we're breaking out the highs with Nvidia down and not joining the party. So if Nvidia, I shouldn't say if Nvidia starts to go, I think this market is unabated to the quarterback. Let's put it that way. This market gets as hot as Bo Nix in the 4th quarter, apparently, spoiling everybody's suicide. Wanted that upset. It was the dumbest thing ever.
Bo Nix. Yeah. Well,
I don't like that guy
That wasn't
anymore.
the Jets. Who was that again?
It was the Giants.
Giants. Yeah, Jackson Dart over
He
there.
gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter
Shout out to Jackson Dart.
after shutting them out.
Yeah, they did not have a good. The Denver D's good, but apparently not yesterday. Okay, so
Not that good.
We're just hovering around here, man, having a great old time right now. Tesla, we did get another piece out there as it come break through that 448 right there. So let's take a piece out as we keep on talking about it. You don't want to hold things absolutely forever. We do have an attorney general issue here. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, someone's sending out some subpoenas to Roblox right here, but we've already, this is an old story, so we'll have to wait to see here. Attorney, here it is right here.
Oh, is that still the, okay.
Yeah, it's the same story as ever here. Attorney General James Uthmeyer issues criminal subpoenas to Roblox to protect children from predators. Obviously, that is a great thing. So let's see where that goes, and if Roblox can get, some better safety measures in place there. I don't think anybody would hate on them for doing that. So we'll see if Roblox can have some success in doing that exactly there right now. Robinhood still down? I don't think Robinhood is down, is it? I mean, you guys can put in the chat if you guys are trading. I mean, this is a trading community, obviously. We're fine right here with our platform as an in-house platform here at Real Trading. So
I've heard a few people in the chat have mentioned Robinhood is one of the places that they're having issues. I mean, Coinbase reported issues this morning. It seems like
WeBull. I mean, everyone, you see how powerful AWS?
I think that's the story. Like, the bigger story to me is everyone gets a wake up as to how big of a deal AWS is, despite the fact that their growth wasn't as big as the other cloud providers. So, yeah, power's up to Amazon, although it'd be a heck of a lot nicer if they didn't have the outage. Clearly.
Yeah.
I'm still on the mind of, watch out, if all these services start coming back, maybe that's going to be good for some of the small cap type names. Like, I don't wonder if you don't get a little bit of a bump up if people can't buy right now.
Yeah, maybe. I guess.
Well, I shouldn't say
the market is ripping. Yeah, the market's up
retail.
1% right now, so I'm trying to think about that. But yeah, I just want to see like who's making money on Friday.
Wait a minute, that shouldn't fill.
You know, this is why I say, like Neil said, like it doesn't matter who makes money or who doesn't make money. I mean, I know who makes money, and I try to tell you guys. But at the end of the day, these are the top 10 traders here at Real Trading from Friday. Yeah, pretty light day actually, looking at these numbers there for Friday. You know, but still, Canada there, TSX, CSE as well. So someone over here made 8. These are all U.S. dollars. So this is real money. This is not like, you know, shout out to Trade the Pool that was here, but these guys, I mean, to their own admittance, are throwing around simulated money, right? So this is real money right now. Amex, Nasdaq, CSE there, Nasdaq, New York, Nasdaq again. There's Canada here. So nothing exotic in the top 10. From Friday, and no real big numbers. But if you can make $6 grand a day, I mean, then you would be crushing everybody. So that is great. So hopefully you guys, some of you have these targets, and we've gotten some nice super chats recently as well for some of you traders that have been putting up some numbers. Right now, October the 1st, right? Is the date that this started, so 37 days. So it looks like we'll get that into November the 7th or the 8th right now is where we're looking for the government shutdown, according to Kalshi. So I don't know if there's anything like, you know, votes coming up or anything, why that's 37.8 days. Maybe there's something to happen in the beginning of the month here with November coming up, but hopefully that all gets settled right now. 37.8 days left, and it doesn't seem like the market, I mean, you're gonna look back again and be like, wow, this market absolutely ripped City here into, by the way, Apple, you're still in it. Yeah, that's hitting to the downside right now. I just looking, because I'm only looking at Apple and Tesla right now, but there it is right now. 99% chance of a rate cut happening, quarter of a point happening October the 29th. So a couple days before Halloween, we'll get that quarter of a rate point there, regardless of no data coming in right now for the government. I mean, there's some data coming in there again, but all right, $6, $7 right here. We're gonna see if we can get a winner on Apple. Sorry, I keep saying Apple, on Tesla. I'm only looking at 2 stocks. Tesla right there, just bouncing off of the 21 period moving average. Let's go over to it, Derek, quickly.
Yeah, here is the NASDAQ. I just want to let you guys know I looked into the next vote here for the shutdown. Looks like they're going to reconvene the Senate at 3 p.m. today with the vote set to occur here, or a procedural, they're going to be voting on that procedural motion apparently at 5:30 p.m. So the Senate will be back here reconvening at 3 p.m., but the vote will be reportedly happening after market close at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, if I see any updates on the vote, because Twitter's been really good about keeping these posted, I will absolutely let you guys know. But as far as I can tell right now, we're not expecting a vote until after the close. It's also worth noting here, a look here at AppLovin. Muddy Waters posting here saying that $200 billion AppLovin faces data privacy probe after short sellers allege misconduct. So that's coming here from Muddy Waters. They're reposting this article from the New York Post. Just keep an eye here on APP. And not sure when this article is from either. Muddy Waters, we know, was already previously short on them, and this article looks like is actually from yesterday and today. But either way, Muddy Waters trying to stir the pot here with APP. Back to you.
Muddy Waters trying to stir the pot? Why not? AppLovin has been really wild. GSAT still sits atop the list of the names that you guys are interested in watching. Robinhood, SoFi, Navitas, AMD, Beyond Meat, WeBull, and GSAT. So let's get this out of the way for now. We can always revisit it. Should refresh it at some point. GSIT, I should say, not GSAT. GSIT, GSIT. Halted again. This is distinctly different, however. I know it's at 1740. The current tap is $14. So were it to open now, it would open $3 lower, up 240% there for GSIT, but the tap is significantly lower. So it might be, again, you don't know, it's until it opens up. Oh, check that. It should have already opened. So this might be a 10-minute halt. So it should have opened about 30 seconds ago. If it was a 5-minute halt, might be a 10-minute halt here for GSIT, in which case, be careful. If you're already in it, you're in it. But if this drops down to $14, obviously that's the biggest gap that it's put in at any point. Yeah, if it's not 5 minutes, it's 10 minutes. And if it's not 10 minutes, then sometimes all bets are off. I know I've heard the story of okay, if it's a 10-minute halt and then it stops, it doesn't go back, it's gonna be 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I've found that not to be true. I just feel like if it's after 10 minutes, it could be anything. I've seen an hour before. So looking for that VWAP hole on AM Apple, but it looks like Intel, first bounce, it was able to hold, but now we're not holding that 38 level. The reason again, relatively tight stop, but this has been a rejection level how many days in a row now? So I like the notion of this breaking out eventually, but that 38 has still been a bit of a problem. Got you to 38.5. I tried that dip buy and does not seem to want to go. Still playing Beyond Meat underneath the buck. I'm open to reversing this. Don't get me wrong if it breaks out above the volume weighted average price, but it just played back into 94. VWAP still sits at about $1, so if it does another fail of the dollar level, I'll just reload it and then work back through. One of the names that's on that list that we did not talk about that is again breaking out is SoFi. No particular story with SoFi, but sometimes you don't need a story. The market bounced last week and it double bottomed at $25. I think that's the simple thing with SoFi, filling in a decent part of the gap from Thursday, not the entire part, but looking pretty strong here is SoFi. A lot stronger than Robinhood. These stocks tend to move at least a little bit in concert, but holding up a little bit better in the range is SoFi. Robinhood's still looking good. And those outages, they don't seem to be affecting any of the stocks. Anything that's down because people can't trade. People have been mentioning this about WeBull, lack of execution. Oh no, WeBull's now red. I'll stop the fail on that. I was about to say, despite all the issues WeBull was having this morning, WeBull is still green, but I flip back and WeBull has turned red. This isn't looking very good. And I say that as a holder of $10.69 on WeBull. This is heading right back into that low. The wall has been at $10, and WeBull seems determined to test it, unfortunately, here. Not looking very good at all for WeBull today. When I look over and see Robinhood actually strong and SoFi strong, that's disconcerting for them. Madera?
You keep an eye here in AMZN. Speaking of the outage, Amazon just coming out here and confirming significant API errors and connectivity issues. They basically said that they'll providing further updates in 30 minutes if they have additional information. So update here from Amazon on that outage. Back to you.
Shouldn't be weak.
All right, we got another piece out here at 447.75 right there for Tesla. So and I just tweeted it out right now if you guys Want to go over here and have a quick little look. I don't even know where that wound up going. Hold on a second, profile. And I just wrote down, because we did VWAP, oh, there it is right here. So I just, right here, I just tweeted this out. So if we do break this 445 VWAP area, we're going to get out of the last 10% of this trade. This is the sticky note trade right there, and it's the only one that we have on so far here today. So so far so good. Let's go over some of the stories. Remember, everybody can 100% go online right now, hit join right here for $5 a month. You will be able to, okay, first of all, you got to get that light going up there. You hit join right here, and you're going to be able to get, first of all these cool little emojis right here, including Randy, including some fire one right there. And you get the members only morning research note. So that note has everything you need on it to, to be properly prepared for your morning, including everything here: Amazon Web Service outage, Bitcoin talk here, Nvidia, everything you need to know, Waymo, again, Boeing, a whole bunch of different stories here. Cleveland Cliffs is on here. So for $5 a month, I mean, I think that's definitely worth it. You're talking about pennies on the day. Let's go have a quick look to see what is going on with Boeing, though, on this story, of course. As Boeing today receives FAA approval to increase its 737 MAX production to 42 planes per month. Which of course is a benefit because now they're only allowed to do 38 planes. So 4 more planes per month. That's a 10% increase in their total output. So that's, that last 10% going to make a difference for them right now. So that's going to be a big one for them. Traders right now are looking for, again, some holds in and around this 212, 213, 214 area. It looks like we are trying to get that. We are just $1 away right now from Tesla breaking through VWAP. So a good couple outs up here, man. But yeah, 446 was the breakout level. That's right where we're back into right now. So hey, man, we may be giving some back, but we're not giving much back at all right now. So far, so good right there. Nice to see, I guess you took some profit there in BYND and now back in at that dollar. So I like that dollar play there for Beyond Meat, breaking now back down below $1. And then, of course, I see you're out of Apple, but Apple right now bouncing off VWAP. So I was trying to look at that level as well, but, it's still 50 cents away from VWAP.
GSET's going to, GSIT's going to halt down, everybody. So that GSIT opened back up, and it's about to immediately halt to the downside. It actually didn't open at 14, it opened at 15.75, halting $2 down at 13.76 in just about a couple of seconds. It's 27 million shares, but as you can see, the stock does not want to hold without going into halts over and over again. So just be careful trading it. Understand that with a name like this, you can get trapped in a halt every couple of minutes. But a $5 stock going up to 13, I would imagine anybody that's in this, you're still in that profit-taking mode. Let's see what VWAP does out at that $10 level. Sean Murphy, I see you in the chat. What is IREN doing? Iris last week was a bit of a thing, but it really seems like this is on the back end of what was a ridiculous upward trend, like up and to the left, I always say, but technically to the right. But IREN seems like it's on the back end and just cannot seem to catch a bid. And when these things go parabolic for a while, which is exactly what it did, like that's a pretty big parabolic move. When you catch a top, you had the bounce once on Friday, and then just cannot seem to hold on to it. So it looks like this still seems like it's on the back end of the trade. We talked about what some of these parabolic movers look like last week when they lose that forever bid. Look at Rigetti. Like these stocks don't have anything to do with each other except for parabolic move. There's your accrual. They try to bounce and then a little bit of a continuation to the downside. And it's not just them. Silver and gold, parabolic move to the upside. Show the top end of the trade. A lot of these names that have been 3x, 4x, 5x in the last couple of weeks lost that top and are looking for a little bit of continuation, unfortunately. So just be careful when looking at some of those names that have a similar trend. We actually talked about that specifically last week, how it's not about this necessarily them being related to each other in a fundamental sense, but a lot of those charts are running similarly in terms of squeezing to the upside, and when they lose the bid, they can lose it altogether. Let's go to Adara.
And the small cap or smaller cap plays and watch here. NVTS, a little bit larger of a market cap here, about $3.5 billion, but great push to the upside, despite a downgrade from Rosenblatt. However, Rosenblatt did raise its price target to the stock for $12. This is a stock that tends to rally or move significantly semi-frequently, and they also have a 28% short float, so significant short float here for NVTS. Then, of course, the often mentioned GSI Technology, or GSIT as it's been called here, mentioned a lot on the show this morning, and for good reason. Big push to the upside after saying that their associated processing unique computed memory architectures can match GPU level performance for AI applications. So AI GPU related catalyst, always a good look, especially for these small caps. It is worth noting nothing super significant about the float or the market cap here for GSIT, short float of about 1.3%. Last but not least, REPL, and this one does have a more notable short float. We're talking roughly 27%. They got an upgrade here from Wedbush with an $18 price target after announcing FDA acceptance of the BLA resubmission for one of their advanced melanoma treatments. Before we send you back to the guys, I want to take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Did you know that instead of risking your own money, you can now trade with someone else's capital? No more fear of losing. No more moving your stop loss too soon. And you actually get enough capital to make it worth your time. You can aim for big profits, not just a couple $100 a month. This is the revolution called limited risk trading. And it's powered by Trade the Pool. So this is how it works. Join Trade the Pool. Hit the profit goal. Keep 70% of the profits. Just visit tradethepool.com. That's tradethepool.com. Or scan the QR code now for 10% off. Back to you.
Nvidia just popped on significant volume, no story. Yeah, nothing in particular here, but I mean, this stands out. This is the biggest volume candle since the open, so obviously this just entered into new territory for Nvidia, breaking out Friday's highs. Again, we'll keep our ear to the ground if there's something specifically going on. The most recent headline I saw was that Amazon Web Services is investigating and will provide further updates. So most of the headlines this morning have to do with specifically Amazon and their outage. Clearly, nothing to do with Nvidia here, but hey, this market's up a point. We've held 25,000. We've bounced from some of the doldrums of last week. Like if you look at the Nasdaq, we said if Nvidia joins the party, like why wouldn't we try to fill in this entire gap? So about 100 points to go here on the Nasdaq futures. I mean, if you look at the ES, they're up a little bit less. And the ES have a chance to break out last week's highs. So the ES hasn't even broken last week's highs, but Nvidia is now all of a sudden trying to lead that charge. $185 was the resistance there on Nvidia last week. So it's actually maybe a little bit higher, 185.5. Let's call it. Be a little bit more precise. 185.5 was that resistance from last week on Nvidia. We can chew through that. There's no stopping the market when Nvidia wants to join the party, as it's way too big. A name on the market. On all the indices, really, Nasdaq and the ES. But it was very weak early, and there's no specific story for Nvidia. Sometimes it just goes into that mode, and it's probably just technical, and the buyers just start saying, oh no, Nvidia's going up, we got to chase. That's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah, we coined a term for that, going meme crazy. We coined that years ago, and yeah, that's exactly what Neil was saying. Once it gets going,
it doesn't need a story.
Get going. So there it goes, man. Nice trade there. Okay, so we'll wait to see if some other names can get going. Marvell down right there. We did have that SMCI story earlier as well here today for SMCI, and there it goes up 7%. So that's a nice little movement higher there. Checking in on some of the quantum space on the quantum names. So this also isn't that bad. Like if we can break above 46 here, I mean, we said that, get this market going. I think this is another space that you're looking to get going here again, would be quantum. I mean, you're down now 1.5%. So if you're looking for some relative value right now in the market, I mean, we'll see if this is just, like I said, like a Mag 7 sort of a move higher. There's Apple right now back up above 259 and starting to go. This whole market, I mean, we only wrote down longs today. Unfortunate with not having Apple. We should have. Oh, Tesla right there. We did get out of half of what we had left. So now we have 5% or less than 5% left there. We had about 10% up here. We talked about that out there on the 240. 445 break. It does go down and bounces off of the 200 period moving average. So, you know, if you want to get out of that one, you can. We're still at it. We've given some back, but we're roughly at our high spot there of the day with just giving back this 5% on that move. I wanted to always look at Starbucks. Let me see if the charts are working again right now. So, no.
Yes.
Okay, still not loading. We don't have any back.
No, because Starbucks moved.
Data there for Starbucks. What's
Pull up on e-signal.
It didn't move. It was always a Nasdaq name.
Here we
so
go.
I don't know. Yeah.
You just want a daily on Starbucks.
Everything working on Nasdaq.
Oh, okay. As long as, and that's the value of. Look,
is it even loading over there? There it goes.
Oh, you know what? It's weird. E-signal never pauses like that. Like on P-Pro, I'm kind of used to it.
That's what I was wondering. Like, what is going on with Nasdaq here?
No, but
right.
I'm assuming you were talking about this on Starbucks.
Yeah, just it's a nice move. It's in an area now where it looks like it wants to break.
It's right at the 50 period moving average on the daily is Starbucks, and just barely. Not breaking out is the best way to put it. Like last week, it was up every single day last week, going into a potential breakout in Starbucks. Again, just wanted to show you guys the chart because I know.
Yeah.
I should have checked mine. Yeah, I'll check my chart.
Man, Apple bounced off that VWAP.
Apple bounced off VWAP, but IBIT. I haven't been into IBIT yet because IBIT didn't do anything, and now IBIT is breaking through the volume weighted average price and holding trend. So if it didn't dip in to 62.5, which it obviously, as you guys can clearly see, did not, Bitcoin is now back above 111,000. So 1111 is the current price, and IBIT's going through VWAP. So I'm buying this one into the high. And let's see if we can see 12s and then 16s. I don't want the high break. I just wanted this to finally break trend and get into VWAP. Get above the volume weighted average price. So it broke trend here-ish. There you go. That's close enough. I mean, the trend line doesn't have to be perfect for you to be able to see that it broke the trend. So it gets above VWAP and breaks the trend out there. Apple must have gotten back into the high of the day, but IBIT's going to be the concern of mine. And that also means I got to look at MARA. Because what did MARA do? MARA's a bit choppy. Yeah, never really got close to prior close down there. It did hold on to 20, but didn't really test in that gap. And very similar to Bitcoin here, just getting back into the volume weighted average price, up 7%. So into some IBIT, at least for myself. Now looking to add to it in front of VWAP and see if we can't ride this train back up. Crypto recovery, it just bounced off support. And the best thing about Bitcoin is it didn't matter. You could just look at it like a normal stock and say, hey, look, it bounced off the 200 period moving average, and you like it for that reason. Or you could just go and look at the chart here. Oops, there it is. And just look at it on the daily and look at the support and resistance level as well. It bounced off of that support level, bit of a wick bottom. But Bitcoin does that. It doesn't tend to bounce off these levels exactly. I tend to test them, show you a nice little reversal. And so hopefully you bought the dip if you liked it at this level. And I think we're headed to 116 on Bitcoin. Keep wanting to say IBIT, Bitcoin, same thing.
Yeah, we're, you guys know on Thursday we bought IBIT there at 108. So I'm happy with IBIT so far, 111 now. So we'll take 3% and wait to see Wagwan on that stock a little bit later. We haven't had any love for Palantir. Have a quick little look to see what's going on with Palantir. I mean, straight shots right under the upside. Look at the Nasdaq, man, just going upside again here for the NQs. Led by a lot of the big stocks today, but looks like Nvidia right now just took down 185 as that's ripping to the high side as well. But there goes Palantir. Looking at a 5-minute chart for this name, could be coming up into some resistance. Right now, 183, 184. So watch out for Palantir possible tops. But those are great tops. So definitely no complaining on this side for little Palantir stock. So nice move there for that one. Let's have a quick little look to see what is rocking and rolling as far as some of the sectors are concerned right now. I mean, right now it's everything. Everything is green right now, it looks like. Maybe potential some weakness here in consumer non-durables as you get the NASDAQ going upside and a lot of risk on today. So Altria, Pepsi, Coke, some of these names that, pay a dividend and have, more of that global exposure right now heading to the downside. Although Nike, nice to see them upside. Retail apparel doing well. Wow, yes, sir, let's go. That was an idea we had. Let's see if Lululemon can continue to work out too. Decker's Outdoor with a nice day today, upside there. Nice to see the banks, which is what I was trying to focus on earlier as well a little bit. getting back there now to the upside as BAC, JP Morgan right there up 1, BAC leading the way up 1.24. My bad, WFC leading the way up 2.3. I still like Citigroup and their valuation levels there as well. Charles Schwab on any dip buys, I think is a buy. I like Charles Schwab down at these levels as well, but we just bounced off 90. I'm in this mid 90s, so I'm in it right now anyways, Charles Schwab, but wouldn't mind getting some more if that does dip down just a little bit there.
You know what to consider
Charles
as well?
Schwab,
I know you're looking at the financials, but remember everyone was all afraid about the regional bank and all that.
Yeah, KRE and everything.
KRE's up 2 points today.
They got killed, didn't it?
It got crushed on Thursday, and then Friday was a relief day, and Monday morning, well, right now, it's breaking back to the 200-period moving average. So another bounce play here. I think we get ZION, which reports after the bell tonight.
Right.
But if you get if this ends up not being some kind of systemic like loan issue with the and it's just a bit of a panic story, then this could lead the next leg up for the financials. The regional scare, if it ends up a nothing burger, that could definitely ramp. But it's very different, right? Like, let's be real. Like, all of the strength is in the big banks right now, relatively speaking. This is more of a relief rally play than anything else. AMD's also skyrocketing. I see you guys in the chat. 241 as AMD continues going. I got to double check because I just saw people type in ARM as well. Well, I mean, sometimes it's holding up as a trim a little bit, but you know, sometimes you trim a stock and it doesn't look good for very long. I mean, it was a topping tail candle. ARM's got resistance at 180. It's up 3.5% today, but you know that in one or 2 weeks, this could look like it was a bad sell at the highs. You know, that's how anything, you trim any strong stock and you're not going to look like an absolute genius, but sometimes it's what you have to do. Is double check. As we were looking at the sector board, just sort of double checking what is a bit of a pullback. When money comes into tech, Caterpillar on Friday, and I don't think we covered this well enough, Caterpillar actually had a bit of a topping, I don't want to call it a topping event, but it actually pulled back a day, holding range. This could break, I don't want to say break down, but this could lose to 525 and might be a bit on the back end after the high. I just felt like this was a reasonable trim given the run it's on. Like this, like Caterpillar doubling, like what happens if China growth isn't very good? You know, these guys are going to stand to get hit for that big time. But
yeah,
no, to each their own. You sell an all-time high, and I've heard technical people say that's a bad thing, but I kind of feel like if you never trim at some highs, whatever, you don't actually bank any profit until you sell something. That's always been my approach, and then just buy the dip after.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about buying the dip on Oracle. I mean, honestly, the fact that we got 319 there on Thursday on that news rip story, and now it's all the way back down to 281, like, you know, looking to buy something back, I mean, this is a decent opportunity here. You're down almost 10% right there from that high. So Oracle, from our latest sell, is now in the money, you know, over 10% right there in 2 days. So I think those are the opportunities that you want to dip by for sure, if they exist for you. So that's going to be something that I'm going to look at one more time there, would be to try to sell or buy back in on a name like an Oracle, because we had most recently sold that one. And then same thing with SMR. I think there's a lot of opportunities here. So, all right, man, that's Oracle starting to go to the upside right now. We do have some Amazon web outages today. So if you guys are joining us for the first time, Amazon doesn't seem to think that there's any worries with that, as that continues to go to the upside. Now, it's just up 1%. It's not like it's a huge move, but it is a nice one there for Amazon after being, it was never red today or anything, but there it is right there at the 200 period, another candidate to get long right there. So yeah, people saying Robinhood's not working, we understand that. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe if you're part of this right now. We have only, I don't know if that's right or not, but 900 likes, that's it. Right now, only 9,000 watching. Get that like button going, get that to 1.5. And then we'll be much happier. So that'd be nice if you guys could do that for us right there. But yeah, so far so good. We can look at there. The title of that little short there is Beyond Meat. So that video. So let me have a quick little look there. Nice one there. Neil short at $1. It's now into 94 cents. We really like looking at that dollar level again, especially because it's at VWAP. So there it comes. Breaking lower. I mean, that's going to be pretty key. Broadcom is a level. 350, I think, is pretty awesome here for Broadcom. Didn't even notice what we had sort of done today, but good hold there, 350, 340 looks like a nice bottom level there. There goes Apple, brand new, all-time highs for the king. So there it is, man. Now anointed, brand new king. It's Apple. Obviously, Nvidia still holds the market cap, but you, king, are make all-time highs. Right there, 260.10, formal all-time highs. There goes Apple right now. And if you're just going by the sticky note, man, it's Apple long, it's Tesla long. So right now, those are the two big boys right there. And there goes Apple right now, taking out all-time highs. So congratulations, everybody that didn't believe everything that was coming out of China. Good thing you didn't, because there goes Apple, nice highs. And again, better iPhone.
News is good out of China, isn't it?
Yeah, but they always report crappy news, and we always say buy the dips. I mean, that's what we do there on Apple. But Apple, yeah, huge news, right? As people are loving the iPhone 17 as per usual. I mean, it's just going to continue. It's the #1 customer satisfied product of all time or something like that. So is the iPhone, the #1 ranked, #1 rated customer product of all time. So people are going to keep coming back to the iPhone, man. And so, you know, iPhone 18 will probably beat 17 and so on and so forth. So I don't really love like that kind of, I'm buying it because of that. I think technically speaking here, Apple's in so many ETFs and so many like, it's the most held name, I would think, is Apple. So, you know, as this starts to go to the upside, it's going to drag and push and pull the Nasdaq with it, and that's exactly what happened. And we just failed again off of that all-time high. So if you're looking at a chart, I mean, I don't want to sell any Apple. I don't have the same feels that this is bubblicious like an Oracle or like any of those things. But Apple right there, this is now 3 times a charm for AAPL. But you cannot pry these shares away from me anyways. So we're still going to watch out for Apple, keep going longer and longer. But right now, Apple downside. Is Roblox, what's up, Aura Alpha? Is Roblox, we had that story about Roblox, and I thought it was, okay. I mean, we had that story right here. And I thought we've heard this before, and I'm guessing we are right, Aura Alpha there, because, you know, I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world here for Roblox. You know, we've seen these reports come through. So we'll wait to see if there is any sort of subpoenas that are anything of worth there for them. But hey, if you've had it, I'm still long in the 30s on that. So that's 4 or 5x on Roblox. I think if you're nervous about it, you can always dump it out. And I think those are shares and stocks where you may want to do things like that, right? So, all right, that's really about it for me right now. We're still watching out for Tesla. I'm going to buy Tesla again if it comes into these lows, but right now we're just chilling. We don't have 2 more, but too many more shares left. So, all right, we'll come back. We have what's for lunch still coming through, and we do have Adara at the desk.
Yes, we do.
Take a look here at this sector board. Lots of strength. We will start with electronic technology, which is certainly leading this push to the upside. Apple, I'm just seeing here, apparently making new all-time highs for the first time this year. Great look for AAPL amid positive analyst notes and nice reception for its new iPhone 17 series. AMD also strong along with Intel, Arista Networks, Micron, and KLA Corp. We also have technology services doing pretty well here. Meta, Google, and Microsoft, all 3 make 7s in this sector, strongly to the upside. Netflix, ahead of its earnings report tomorrow after the bell, doing well too. But AppLovin and Oracle both struggling a bit here. Finance, nice push to the upside. Producer manufacturing, really strong. Consumer durable, strong. Transportation, strong. Health tech, strong. Consumer services, lots of strength as well, along with health services. But let's talk about communication. A little bit weaker here now. Unlike Netflix and Intel, and to a lesser extent Tesla, all 3 of which are pushing higher ahead of their earnings report later this week. T-Mobile and AT&T both report earnings later this week, but a little red to start the week today. Before we send you back to the guys, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Woman Boss, because empowered women change the world. And you can all make it happen. The Woman Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. Since 2018, we've reached over 10,000 women and girls. And your donation today can launch the next great entrepreneur. So just scan that QR code on your screen now and join us, building a brighter future. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. We got a super chat in here, and it's from Steven Springer. Love the last name. Why is ELF tanking? Well, I don't see a story outside of on Friday when they launched in-stream shopping on Twitch. So again, that's a Friday story, and I don't see necessarily why that would be a bad thing. In-stream shopping on Twitch, I don't see why it'd be a negative, but down 7%. Yikes. Like I'd want to say at this point, it it's flat bottom breaking, so there could be a little bit of it that's technical, but that's a hefty gap down. I'm going to keep the ear to the ground. But the only story that I've seen on ELF so far is that Friday story about in-stream shopping on Twitch being launched, and that didn't react that much there. Adair?
I want to clarify, no news. I looked into it. Very minimal social media attention, but what I do see is just people confused as to why it's dropping. So I really don't have any.
Yeah. And again, like I said, like the only stories are from last week. So unfortunately, this one is falling off the shelf a little bit here. It's at some support, so there is at least that. But yeah, not looking very good there, Steven. But don't have, like Adair said, don't have a particular story. Bitcoin is still at 11,000, holding on to the volume-weighted average price. Pretty much, like VWAP is more or less almost exactly 11,000, and then IBIT it's at like 63. So going to play this one back into the high. We have reloaded it once, and then we're still in. Beyond Meat's doing this. So here we're into VWAP. I'm not going to move off the Bitcoin chart. But Beyond Meat did not get back to the VWAP in the dollar, so I did not reload it at 99. I have some bids at the 90 level, but right now got to watch Bitcoin here as it tries to hold on to that 63 level. I have a stop down at like 90, in the mid 90s, but I'm looking for another reload spot. Just want to make sure we're closing above. It is some relative strength today, being up 4%, but remember, percentages don't matter for Bitcoin. Why I'd at least be concerned about it is look at the Nasdaq. Like the Nasdaq is right back into the highs, and if you look at this 15-minute, there has not been a red candle. This has been unabated and just all systems go to the upside, and you're still sort of like sideways action, holding a very slight upward trend and an inside day here for IBIT and for Bitcoin in general. So a lot of strength in the market, being led, of course, by things like Apple and Nvidia, which kind of went out of nowhere. Bitcoin is trying to join that party, but we've seen this story before, where it seems like it's a little bit boring off of the open, and then you get a late breakout, sometimes up, sometimes down. Has a tendency to do this, where the bigger moves happen a little bit later in the day. So above VWAP means I'm still favoring long.
Yeah, unabated the quarterback Micah Parsons yesterday, 3 sacks. We'll see. Can Green Bay still hold on to the #1 ranking?
Why don't they throw to Kraft more? Like I find like they don't
throw to him too much, to be honest with you.
No, in the first half they did.
How many
threw to him one
did
time.
he get?
I think he had 5 by the end of the game.
Oh,
but in the first half, he's never involved in the first half. And then it's like, oh, we forgot about him. And then at one point, they were just like forcing him the ball.
Yeah. He's like our little weapon over there. And when Watson comes back, so right now, Green Bay is your power ranking #1 in the NFL.
You can't be tackled, that guy.
I don't know if that'll be true next week. Right there, number one was Green Bay, and #2 was Tampa Bay. So those are my team is Green Bay. Tampa Bay is my brother's.
I think the Rams are
the Rams.
I think the Rams look better than Tampa to me. I take the Rams over the Bucks.
Yeah, right now I think, other than KC, I think all the top teams right now in the NFC. I think right now the Rams look good. Eagles look great. KC looks great. KC dominated yesterday, but they didn't. It's not like that was a fair. I mean,
Geno Smith, man.
They dominated the Raiders. I mean, so who knows? Right there, how good they are. Again, right now.
What's up, Randy?
Hey, what's up, Randy?
Dolly.
Are you looking for your dolly? Yeah. Don't look too hard for it. Let's go Rams. Yeah, Rams are good. Tonight, Seattle, Houston.
What's the
I
other
hate
game?
These double Monday nighters. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
They used to do it once. Now they
have
do it.
hockey until like 8, and then right away is baseball after that. So for the Blue Jays, of course.
Game 7, baby. There's nothing better than it. And I don't care what sport it is, man. Game 7.
No, especially baseball.
Do or die. Well, the thing about baseball, the whole like it's never over. It's not a time thing.
Right. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Not that I want it to be close. I don't want it to be close because my heart can't take it. But you know, in most cases, I love those any Game 7 that ends up going down to the wire. Just not particularly, not tonight. Like I wouldn't mind like a 10-2 win would be fine.
Yeah. That one time, there goes Oscar, by the way. Nice move upside there for OSCR. I mean, shout out to Michael Noss and shout out to my. Look, I mean, we've coined, and you guys have coined in the chat, the big BBAI brigade. What are we going to call Oscar? Like Oscar's trash can or something like that? Like right now we are long on Oscar, and we're long down here, 1350. So this is a real nice move there for OSCR. I like it. UNH again, the whole space starting to get going again, hopefully. Into this space. So, we are into Oscar. I like it for the same reasons why, we bought Palantir cheap. I think we bought Oscar cheap. You know, we're buying some other names here on some pullbacks, but I like OSCR, and then Robinhood again. It's just these different names that are providing apps and getting this new generation into everything. Because trust me when I tell you, like, if you knew my, like, if ELF was trading based on my family, the thing would be at 52-week highs. So I don't really know exactly what is going on here with ELF, but right here, I think Starbucks, ELF, someone said if I had a pumpkin latte yet. No, my daughter this weekend had a pumpkin frappuccino. I'm gonna ask her. She bought one of those Jellycat things too, those Jellycat stuffies. Those things are stupidly soft. We really like that one. Shout out to the Big Bear AI Brigade there again, as you guys have coined it, not me. 775 right now. That's a good little high. Looking to take that out right now as we get a little bit higher. The Open Army is another strong one apparently, and that off $7. I mean, we've talked about this numerous times. Coming back into $7 right now. Very, very important. Okay, man, if you guys are green so far today, let's get this chat going a little bit. I don't know if there is like a green or red thing in here. If I
no, we do the
green. There it is. Yeah, yeah, here.
That thing.
This thing right here. Yeah, let's do this. So let's go green right there. And you guys put it in what you are today. And I just hope, I only have one trade on, and it's just been Tesla. So, I mean, this has been obviously a fantastic one. It's not doing too much right now. We are waiting to see if we can get something back into there. Good job, everybody, there in the chat. And we want to say a big shout out to everybody there. Normally, we do something called roll call. But yeah, wow, what a good morning for most of you. It doesn't matter if you're green or red. Just wanted to see like what it was doing, because I think when the market is trending like this, it does give a great opportunity, again, for anybody that is a trend trader, potentially swinging something long into the weekend. I know traders generally will swing long rather than short, especially in our chat from what I'm noticing. So there it is, man. It's a big successful day for many of you trading here today. And we just had Apple take out all-time highs today as well. So obviously that's a big indicator there for many of you in your trading, in your longer term portfolios. Like if you have an ETF, you're probably laughing right now. Nasdaq highs, ES highs right now, both up 1%. The banks are rocking here today as well. JP Morgan, boom, look at that move recently for JP Morgan. Let's check out Morgan Stanley as well. This name rocking to the high side, was up, yeah, 2% last time we checked. Nice move there. I think it was, oh, it was WFC that was leading the way. Sorry, not Morgan. There goes Wells Fargo, was up 7 or 8% on earnings alone. Gave some back after 3 days of earnings, like day 1, day 2. Did you buy day 3? That's $83. Nice move to the high side there as well. So, yeah, man, Google and Nvidia really. I love Google. Really glad that we're hella long that name. But really, Nvidia was another recent dip buy of mine at 175. I'm a little nervous, obviously, about Nvidia. Their report not till late November, so we got a little while to go right there. Oh, T-Money. You know that I like some Alibaba. You know I like Alibaba T-Money. And wow, what a great trade that was. Shout out to you, because now you are in T-Money on that trade, as there it goes, man, a 169 break. Congratulations, I love this name. TCEHY, actually, Tencent is a name that pulled back that I wanted to buy right there at the 50-period moving average. A little scared about China buying Chinese names, but I do like that name there, Tencent, with only 10 minutes left until the midday show. We're going to it.
U.S. dollar just trucking along in its uptrend. Not a lot of economic data earlier in the week, though we will get some later this week. We'll actually get on Friday. We're supposed to get the CPI print for the month of September. Again, that's been announced here by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, so it seems very likely that we will get the print on that date. Now, here's a look as to how the CPI, at least on a monthly basis, performed over the last year. So as you can see, the last 2 months here, month over month, core CPI specifically at 0.3%. Now, our estimate here for this coming month, or I guess the past month, September, is also, you guessed it, 0.3%. So we're expecting CPI to be consistent here with previous prints. Now, we'll have to wait and see what happens with the shutdown with regards to what other data we can get ahead of the Fed's meeting in just 9 days on October 29th. 2025. Now, we do have some Fed speakers saying that they're not super worried about having this data, that data released by private institutions will be enough. In fact, Fed's Myron has actually said that the Fed really shouldn't be using data too much at all. Instead, they should be looking forward to what they think inflation will be at in 1 year's time. So really mixed look at the Fed. We know the last 2 Fed meetings we've had dissenting votes. Let's see if this meeting is consistent here. But again, if we do get some kind of resolution to the shutdown, which Kevin Hassett thinks that we might get, and that is, of course, the leader of the National Economic Council, then maybe we get some more data and the Fed has a little bit more to chew on ahead of that meeting. Back to you.
Thank you for the update there, Adara, and thank you to Down to Sky. Made some nice coin on Lulu, thanks to this channel. Appreciate you, Down to Sky. Lululemon right off that 200 period on the monthly. That's a pretty historical level for Lululemon. When in doubt, zoom out if you're ever looking for support on those types of names. Lulu, I believe, up 4.7%. A couple of seconds ago it was 5%. 5% so far today. And like I said, it's all green on the Nasdaq, all green on the ES. There's not a lot outside of, I think, ELF we were just talking about. Pretty much nothing is having that bad of a day. Although I reiterate, the one I always sort of say, like on days like today, you want to check to see what is strong and what is not, and be mildly concerned about the types of things that you think should be running that aren't. WeBull's back to green, but it's not really participating in this move. And we saw how strong SoFi was, relatively speaking. So, this is one I actually think I'm going to get hit this week if it shows this kind of weakness. I'm bidding in front of $10 on the stock and kind of stink bidding in my personal account. And the way that it's trading, I don't know if this is tied to the outage. When WeBull comes back up, I'll be interested to see if this stock actually can catch a bit of a bid and join this market rally to the upside. I know it's not really red, technically, but compared to everything else, not looking too healthy. Adara?
Be aware here, guys. Market at day's high. Good look here. Let's see if we continue to push higher. At 11 a.m., we are set to have a meeting here between President Trump and the Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese. They'll be meeting outside the White House as is standard, and then they will be actually having that meeting shortly thereafter. Meeting here, the bilateral meeting is set to start at 11:15 a.m. With the meet or the greeting outside the White House set to start at 11. Sometimes these things are a little bit late. I'll be following and I'll be keeping you guys posted regardless. Back to you.
Yeah, it's one of my Sharif getting excited here for Apple, and it's probably the largest holding, but it's not something that I'm trimming. I sold the story that I was like buying my first Apple shares when I bought the first iPhone. So it's just a matter of letting that name continue to roll forward. I have taken profit on that name before, but it always seems like a mistake. Yeah, but there's Apple. I mean, and by the way, Tesla, I'm just waiting for dips. I'm really not doing anything right now. Just letting this sort of show expire here, and then we'll have it into the midday for you right away, and they'll have a lot of fun talk there, as they always do. But there's Apple up 3.5% there and ripping higher. So what a great stock, what a great story. Continue to love that name and love everything that's going on there with Apple services. I mean, even on Amazon Prime Day, I went and got an Apple Watch. So, because my other one stunk out. It was just an SE, so it was a little wild, and I think it got too much agua in it. Okay, so 261 and change. Again, huge move there for Apple, continuously going there. Nvidia, again, the big dog of the day as well. That went up to 185. We're looking for an Nvidia high break of, SoFi's break is 30 right there. Nvidia's all-time high as located right here, 195. So we still have quite a ways to go before we get anywhere near Nvidia's all-time high. So that's going to be the next one to go there. We do like what Amazon's been doing as well here today, despite all the outages. And then, everybody I mean, I like dumpster diving with WeBull. I mean, we've bought some more shares down here as well recently. But SoFi is the one that I am choosing. So Pikachu, many people choose you. But SoFi, I choose you. And so we've recently bought more on this 50 period right there. And I don't know, we could get lots of opportunities. Like when you buy it here the first time and it goes up to 30 bucks, you're thinking you're pretty smart, and then it comes all the way back down again. So understand the time frame that you're looking at here with a stock like SoFi. And if you do have some time on your hands, maybe you're thinking about right now what is for lunch. So I'll tell you right now what's for lunch around here. This morning we had scrambled eggs with turkey sausage. I thought that was pretty good.
Delicious. I like
turkey sausage is very...
eggs were...
Yeah, the eggs were always...
kind of runny.
Always a little bit of something.
Like Denny's style is the best way to think about it.
Denny's style. I haven't been to Denny's in a while.
They're
By the way,
really
Apple's
money
261.50 right now.
AMD's also all-time high. So like,
Oh, AMD is
like
now,
imagine
too.
all morning long, like all the things that are making highs. We didn't even mention AMD's all-time high.
No. We're cruising with Tesla now, and I mean, I think that's true. There's a lot of stocks right here that are moving. But hey, man, if you have some of these today, we asked everybody. I didn't really see anybody that was read in the chat. So, I mean, congratulations. There's a lot of chicken dinner winners today. And if you are a chicken, you might want to watch out because today's lunch is grilled Greek chicken. So that's pretty good with some rice. What? And then it says Italian seasoned veggies. Normally it goes Greek seasoned veggies, like when we get Italian chicken. But anyways, Greek grilled chicken, so that'll be good. Hopefully like a little souvlaki type flavoring there. And then mixed veggies with rice, and then of course topped off by a Greek salad.
What is Italian seasoned vegetables? What is that? Like?
Yeah.
But like, I don't even know what that means.
No, I don't. Could be something like a little like oregano on there. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. Thyme.
I feel like it doesn't really tell us.
What is, some like fresh herbs. I don't know. But anyways, and I just did have a look at what's tomorrow, so get ready for that. What is tomorrow by accident?
Tilapia Tuesday.
Pardon me, is it Tilapia Tuesday? It may be. Stay tuned tomorrow to see if tomorrow is indeed Tilapia Tuesday.
If the Jays win, I won't care that it's tilapia. I'll just be,
yeah, of course.
I'll be too happy to not give a darn about that. Interestingly flavored tilapia recently. I think they're running out of ways to do it around here, so that kind of is.
I don't want to ruin what it is tomorrow.
No, it's, I like the surprise.
I'll hold back my opinion on tilapia until tomorrow, if you know what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think. Usually they've been. I think it's been later on in the week. Just one more thing. We mentioned AMD making some power moves to the upside. What it's also doing. Hey, what is going on with this chart? There we go. Now I can recenter it. Just wanted to get that recentered for myself. AMD's uptrend is being challenged for the first time. I didn't draw that perfectly, but all-time high, broke out 241 with the market. This is that time of day where you can start looking. I mean, I start looking for reversions. So if we do lose this trend line, VWAP's from a trend line break, a couple dollars down, I'm going to look for AMD and a possible reversion back into the trend line here. Bitcoin still going, just kind of wicked the top there and has a very slight upward trend of its own. So if it breaks this trend on a 3-minute, I just get out and then wait for the volume weighted average price again. Continually look for places to add at VWAP until it confirms any kind of breakout of the top. So it's held in VWAP. It hasn't gone parabolic off of the high just yet. And Ankit's saying we missed your super chat. Well, if I missed your super chat, then I'm going to look for it literally right now. You made your first 4-digit day. Happy Diwali. So congratulations. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Was that Fabian for putting that one in there? So let's just hit that one. Good job there, Ankit. Appreciate you for sure. And best of luck. Day's not over. The market has still yet to put in a red candle on the Nasdaq on my 15-minute chart. We have 0 red candles on the day on the NQ, the ES, same thing, and breaking out higher. What I love about this too is go back and look at KRE and the regional banks. Like that little scare was over with really, really quickly. And that was half of the story why we were pulling back. Like it was some China trade related, and the other half was the worries about the regional banks and their lending issues. Well, looking pretty healthy right now.
So a big shout out to Sunny and everybody there in the chat. Of course, here it is on my screen there. A big happy Diwali to everybody there today. It's well celebrated, all around Toronto. So a big shout out to that Festival of Lights and whatnot. So happy Diwali to everybody out there. We want to say happy SoFi Day to people as well. Happy Bitcoin Bounce Day, and happy every sort of Monday to everybody out there. Join us back again. Good show today.
Oh, it's 11 o'clock.
Join us back at 2 o'clock when we will have Neil and I again, and then you'll rate for now. Thankfully, you're going to a very great midday program.
Where's our intro music?
You have to understand something. We already talked about this. We get nothing new on this show. Not absolutely anything.
Okay.
No, it's not shade. It's just we don't get anything new on this show, but these guys do, which is great.
You might as well hit it again
gotta
while
fight,
you're at it.
You got to fight for it.
Might as well.
I mean, we love some stone cold right here. That's what I feel like every single day,
Crack
man.
one
Whenever
right
I sit
now.
down in this chair, we breaking through. You know, you saw the Tesla trade there today, so we were cracking Budweiser's early on the desk. So congratulations to everybody. Let's go back over to the midday where we have these two stunners of guys ready to go right there. See what I did right there, guys? All right, see ya.
You want Katina, man.